Today's A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan podcast is brought to you by
Streamline Mortgage Solutions. You can find the information at streamlineflorida.com. Brian Zeimel's cell phone number is right there on the website. You'll see, click on the Tom and Dan link. And
could not be easier for you to refinance and maybe plan to purchase a home, sell your home.
Get a mortgage if you're looking for a mortgage or to refinance.
Indeed.
Here's the thing. The testimonials on streamlineflorida.com, you can go read them yourselves. They're filled. Hundreds of BDMs have either gotten mortgages or refinanced through Streamline, and it's been overwhelming, the response about how happy everybody is with the service that Streamline provides.
Yeah, here's one right here. It says, 5 stars, extremely helpful with refinance. Going through any financial change can be overwhelming. Brian and his team, especially Donna Marie, were very professional, available to answer questions, and honest about the whole entire process. Any questions that I had were answered quickly, and when you called them, the phone was always answered by the person that I needed to talk to. No being on hold, having to push different buttons to get the right person, and no automated answering service. Everybody was professional, yet you felt very comfortable discussing your finances with them. I would definitely recommend Streamline. If you are looking to refinance, I looked at refinancing with the bank that held the mortgage, and they didn't offer the rates that Streamline did. 5 stars. We'll use again.
Why'd you do that voice like that?
Haven't done it in a while. I needed practice.
No one sounds like that.
I had a great... this guy sounds like that.
Our listener,
I can tell.
That's our listeners.
Right.
Why'd you
they all sound like that? Every single one is a variation. Have you ever talked to them?
I have.
Yeah, I'm like, they're like, hey, are you Dan? I'm like, yeah, I am.
No one sounds like that. Why would you do that? Why would you
Tell Tom I said hello.
Why would you disrespect them? Right. So just give them a call. They'll let you know whether it's a right fit or not. But I'm telling you that the interest rates are ridiculously low right now. I refinanced twice in a couple of years.
As did I, just to make sure that I got locked in at the best rate. And you're going to pay off your house earlier than you ever would.
I changed my 30 to a 15-year fixed, of course, with a better rate. Then the rates got even better, and then Streamline's like, hey, you should refinance again. I refinanced. I took a little bit of equity out.
At least look into it, because like right now, Andrea's kind of thinking about maybe us moving. Look, I don't touch any of that. I let her do it. But if that's something that you're thinking about, if that's something that is a goal for you, you owe it to yourself to at least investigate it with Brian and his team right now. He's going to tell you.
It's free to investigate.
Yeah, he's doing it with Andrea. He's like, do you want to stay there for at least 3 years? Or do you think that possibly in the next 5 you're going to want to move? Well, these are all things you should plan. Look, there's no rush, but just get the ball started. Talk to Brian. Talk to Donna Marie from the...
Yeah, they're so good, and they'll let you know exactly what to do. It's StreamlineFlorida.com.
Live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio, it's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke-heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Yeah, Friday free show, Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
My phone is ringing. I'm getting a spam risk from Dickinson, Texas. Butler's here. No Sam today. She's celebrating her anniversary. Happy anniversary, Sam and Travis Haar. We love you so much. And we hope that you guys are having a wonderful day.
We have new merch on tomanddan.com, including these new masks. That
red one's pretty darn amazing. I like that one.
We've got this red one with our new retro logo on there. We've got a new Side Chicks mask. They both come in youth sizes.
Yeah, Maisie has one. She loves it. These are great masks for kids that don't like to wear masks.
And also, there's BDM shirts that we put on sale for $15, male and female.
Yeah, if
our
you
new
visit
retro shirt. We got tons of merch.
Yeah, and if you visit our Facebook page, there's now a Shopify store on there that you can use, fully functioning, if you pay through Facebook. I know some people do. But hey, welcome to the show. We're glad to be with you guys and hope to have a little bit of fun today.
So speaking of Samantha being on vacation, she always
we
worried.
did a pretty decent job this week, guys. I mean, not to toot our own horn. Now, first I got to toot her horn. I got to be careful, not tooting any horns that are actually attached to her body. There's no physical tooting at all. So this is a metaphor, kind of. I'm just throwing it out there. She did a great job of kind of giving us giving us our work, outlining everything, organizing it, and all we really had to do is execute what she put in play. That's what a good producer does. And she did a fantastic job.
Yes.
Flawlessly. I think we would all agree that this was probably the easiest week we've ever done missing somebody.
She was telling us last week, because she always gets nervous leaving us to our
Why
own
wouldn't
devices.
you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I fully expect her to believe that this will not exist when she gets back.
I would like to, when she's back on Monday, I want to ask her, because I know she'll be honest, because she's an honest person, but I want to know who does she depend on me the most? Does she depend on you the most?
No,
I'm sorry, I'm taking you out of play, and I'm not doing it.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, and I'm not doing it to be mean. We'll get to that later. I know there's some things that I wasn't even here for. Apparently, when I'm not here for 5 minutes, shit goes nuts. But
I'll talk to you about that.
Or does she just think? I think she thinks, if I'm just being real, that all of us are terrible in our own way.
Yeah.
Whereas there will be things that I can do that will prop up the show. I mean, you guys have that as well, but none of it is complimentary. None of it works.
It all works against each other.
Thank you. Perfectly said.
So she was telling us, and especially last week, she was telling me, she's like, this is what I did with this. This is what we have scheduled. These are where the documents are. This is where the...
She has a cork board above the calendar, and she had if you have this interview 1, you go to stack of papers 1 and get your folder.
And I blame my wife for this because throughout the years, nearly... God damn it.
Oh, that's a good-ass song.
20...
Kenny Rogers. Through the years, you never let me down.
I
turned my life around. Good fucking song.
Tune my wife out when she starts talking. That's where my brain naturally goes. She starts saying something to me, and immediately it triggers my brain to start thinking about something else, and then anything else.
Okay.
I start daydreaming or looking around her, and as soon as she starts talking, so I think my brain does that with all women in my life, and so as soon as they start talking to me, I immediately.
So this is like the movie "What Women Don't Want," starring Tom Van.
This week, obviously, every time we have a guest, I'm like, "Who's that? What's that?" And then I'm like, "Oh, it's right here in front of me in my paper that she told me about."
Right? You did have papers, yeah.
So there's another thing.
We had Traveling Robert on. He's a big time YouTube influencer. Great guy, wonderful podcast and video guy. You can check him out. But we had some good guests this week.
So another thing that Samantha does when we're all in the studio working a normal work week is she keeps Travis from talking to me too much.
She's quiet. Yeah, she's quiet.
Well, she also, every time Travis gets on a roll with telling me stories, she immediately disrupts it.
I notice you haven't been getting quality sleep, boss. For me, it's what I like to do. Oh, my God.
It's like
caffeine.
It's like that character on Dairy Girls, the uncle. If you're not watching that show, there's this one character that literally he's the fucking pariah. If you get in his clutches with a story, he will fucking murder your brain, and you're never getting out. It's a tractor beam. He'll pull you in, and he'll murder you with his stories.
So I take that as a compliment, sir.
It's my favorite character on the show.
Since Samantha's on vacation, she's not here to stop Travis from talking to me.
And I'm not going to stop it because at my heart, I do like to sit back and watch you guys fall apart, which is not beneficial for the company.
And especially when Daniel's not here, because sometimes Travis will get tired of just talking to me and me not responding, just reading email, looking off my world.
He'll come in here.
Then he'll come in here and start talking to you, whoever he can talk to distract you from doing work.
How's Cyberpunk 2077 going? See any more titties? All right.
And then
giggity giggity. So saw that on Family Guy. I'm Travis.
So it was a day.
That's not you at all. I know, I deserve a big fuck you for that.
So you were.
Fuck you. I'm going to beat you up.
Daniel was getting his hair cut, so it was just me and Travis in the office alone. So it was double down on him.
It was 40 minutes, guys.
Just
40 fucking minutes. It's not that long. A shave and a haircut.
telling me stories, talking to me, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't listen to most of it, but I can't help myself because, again,
Yeah.
I'm not trained to tune out male voices.
Yes.
The
register, it's kind of echoes within your halls.
So he starts going into the story about he's like, hey, I was on a podcast last night or whenever the hell it was, and he's like, I did an interview. I was plugging my stuff, and then he's laughing. He's like, they asked me, and then I was like, stopped him, like, what are you plugging? And he's like, I'm plugging my statues my Star Wars statues.
The goddamn statues.
I don't know what you call
Goddamn
them.
statues.
And he's like, and then I'm like, the spike with the stormtrooper.
Butler, for those that don't know, because some people just listen to the Freddie Free Show, they don't listen to ACT or BDM shows. What are you making? Tell us about your statues, please.
Okay, they're Star Wars themed statues. They have classic stormtrooper helmets on spikes as depicted from the Navarro streets in The Mandalorian. They're small. They're about 24 inches tall, and they're going for about $100 a pop.
Now, I feel like Butler and Daniel, you'll probably agree with me just because you know Butler too. I feel like you went into this with zero plan. Also, the plan of selling these things wasn't even the initial
No.
plan, and it just fell into place, and now you're in over your head.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay,
Yeah, I mean,
I found another
he's like
chopper
that
trait.
guy on Oprah's Favorite Things that sold the horse saddle that goes on your knee.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. I'm not going to sit here and suck its dick and say it's an amazing idea.
Yeah,
Sorry, Butler. Your helmets are cool, but it's not like...
Never dawned on him by going
It's not
on Oprah.
groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's not groundbreaking, but I will say that, I kind of understand what Tom's saying. It's like you never intended to do this, and now it's spiraling out of control.
And I also think that someone just offered to buy that, and then you're like, I'm going to start a business selling them. And
Not a business, but a hobby. Yes.
And now a factory.
Yeah, well, a hobby insinuates there's no money being exchanged here.
Well, there isn't right now until they make.
Well, you had 5 orders. Anyway.
No, he's 6 now, right?
Actually, I got about 7.
Seven.
Seven total right now.
2 higher than yesterday, Tom.
I've often wondered how people get in over their heads.
Well, this is how it happens.
This stuff, like it's a chopper. There's no
Well,
plan
you
going
have
in.
some of the tendencies. I mean, are you hearing the overconfidence?
Yeah, there's
I mean,
overconfidence.
you're the king of overconfidence.
I got this.
So then you start telling me that you were like, oh yeah. Then I've been taking this marijuana break, but I decided to take an edible before.
He's saying, I'm done with the marijuana. I'm over it. Don't need it anymore. I'm high on life, high on my own supply.
I've had amazing.
And then, like a day later, you're like, well, I bought a 30-pound bag of gummies. I'm like, well, what? Wait, which is it?
Remember when Amazing Jonathan, and the first time we talked to him, told us that he did this private show for like the president,
Yes,
and then the president of Paris,
France,
and
Yakov Smirnoff.
Yeah. It was like some dignitaries, and he had never done mushrooms or whatever drug that he decided to take it right before the show. And I was like, why would you do that? Why would you choose?
It's like acid or something
that night. And the same thing with you take a break from THC, good for you. You're resetting yourself. Everybody should do it. But then when you do decide, all right, I haven't taken THC in however long,
2 weeks.
I'm going to take it right before I go on and the show and do an interview. Seems odd to me, but okay. Then you go on the show and you tell me in the conversation, you're like, yeah. Then from the THC, I was, high, and then they asked me like, "Hey, where can we find these? Like, plug your Instagram
Do you have a
and
name
Twitter
for your prop company or your
Redcoat Media.
the same company.
Redcoat Multimedia.
I've never written a check to you. All right,
Redcoat Media is now
5
making
years.
small Star Wars figurines. All right.
And every month or every 2 weeks, I go, do you want me to write to Redcoat Media? No.
Not yet. It's not there yet.
Not yet ready.
They're still working on the website.
So then you tell me that you go to plug the show or you plug your own Twitter or Instagram, and first, I didn't know that your Instagram was English tea. I don't know if you knew this.
English tea? Like TEA? Like
no,
English
like
tea.
just the tea.
English tea. When
English
did you become
Travis.
a motorcycle fabricator?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to get my handlebars made from old English tea. It sounds like a chopper name.
Which is dumb enough to
that
begin
ties
with.
in almost.
Then you're like, yeah. Then when I forgot how to spell it, and
English tea?
I was floundering, and then I was like, that's how much thought was put into this business.
Is
to
that what you
promote
sent me?
So then we dug up the audio, and I'll plug the podcast.
I have not heard this.
This is a Star Wars podcast, right? Local.
Yeah.
And what's the name of it?
It's Con Cantina's podcast. It's a Star Wars drinking podcast.
Okay.
What's a con?
Well, it's the two hosts, Justin and Connor. So it's Connor's. It's at his place. It's his studio. So it's just called Con Cantina.
Sorry, I'm not trying to break down their name. Like, doesn't make any sense. Like, no. Con Cantina podcast. Okay,
if these hosts, if they're, because I did think to myself, like, why have Travis on as a guest? I know he's like Star Wars.
Because he likes Star Wars.
Yeah,
Neither of us like Star Wars.
Well, a lot of people like Star Wars. I'm like, what is Travis? Then I was like, wonder if their master plan.
Are you offering yourself as a guest for this podcast?
No.
Oh, I thought that's what you were doing.
I don't know anything about it. But then I was like, I wonder if they thought, hey, we'll have the bumbling guy from Tom and Dan come on. He'll do something that Tom will get wind of. He'll make
get us
fun
a
of me.
little closer to Tom.
Play my clip. Plug my podcast. I mean, if that was their plan, they're brilliant.
So you're a dream maker.
I'm just saying, if that's their plan, you guys are brilliant. But then anyway, so we got the clip.
All right, so here, I've never heard this.
Okay, yeah.
Hopefully it plays. This is Con Podcast, Star Wars podcast.
This is Travis plugging his own Instagram or Twitter.
Okay.
Here
we go. Oh, hold on.
On the book face at Travis Butler. You can look for me.
Travis Butler, look for him. Dude, seriously, thank you. This is super cool. And you do have a life-size one.
Yes.
As well. You got to send us a picture of that, or put it in the Facebook group at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely will. My wife hates it. It's in my office, my little studio.
Is it after this?
No, it's before.
Oh, it was before that? Oh, I started at 3:27. You said 3:30, so I was trying to get a...
I'm sorry. I thought it was...
You fucked it all up.
Are you surprised?
Somewhere where they can find you. Where can the people find you? You are in our Facebook group.
Correct. I am on the Facebook.
Yes.
You can catch me there. I'm on the Twitter feed.
I got some things about Twitter, man. That's a...
I can hear the slowness. I can hear it.
And also on the Twitter feed.
You sound really happy. You sound real relaxed.
You know when someone screams to someone like walking like through somewhere and they scream, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And they look and they're like, I feel like Travis truly does not know what he's doing here or anywhere or wherever. Like someone screams, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
You sound like you're trying to figure out where you are. So
that site is special. Very, very special. But Travis, you are a talented man, and you made something for us. And I'm bringing that up right now. Do you want to tell the people
it's
about
now our most prized possession?
Yeah, seriously. So thank you for giving. When people come, they bring stuff for the shelf. Okay, so we've taken some toys down, we've moved some stuff around. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a permanent resident.
Awesome.
I mean, this isn't going to get moved around.
Pause for a second.
Thing about this.
There's a lot
not
of
to make it uncomfortable, but didn't I
this
say...
This guy's as good as I am at buttering people. This guy's good.
Let's get the clip. The right there.
He told me 3 minutes and 30 seconds, which
course.
is what
it was right around
this
there.
This goes with all Star Wars.
Yes.
So tell the people about this. Okay, you can't look in the helmet.
No.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You do sell these.
Here we go.
Correct, I do.
Yes. And where can people find them?
Man, if you can find them, they're actually going to be super limited edition. So
hold on, guys. Super limited edition. That'd be like it's handmade, which means that it'd be like my grandma saying these cookies are super limited edition,
and she ain't lying.
No, they're not though. They're just
I also like
handmade trash.
You tell your potential customers if you can find them. Because I don't even know.
Demand. I want to hear it mess it up.
Meaning, I'm actually just trying to keep up with the supply and demand. I'm actually already on at least 5-person wait list right now. But you can actually you can go onto my Instagram, which is going to be English Tea. It's ENGLISHT.
English.
Yes. English Tea. So we're going to do that.
It was a little worse than I thought. That was like it was a little more natural than I thought. I thought
the gummies hit me tenfold.
Yeah, man, your brake's working. Your brake's working.
Yeah, it is, right?
You must feel great.
Clear as day.
There was no plan for any of this, right?
Yeah.
This is just day by day.
But you both
You're
seem-
digging yourself deeper.
You both seem obsessed with this. He seems obsessed with making it happen. You seem obsessed with trying to find why it's happening.
Yes, yeah. But I guess I don't know why I'm so obsessed with it, but I'm obsessed with the fact
Have
that
you seen one in person?
this is.
Why don't you buy one for your sons?
I don't want to.
Okay. Don't fucking beat me up. Oh my God. Fuck you. I don't want to.
Also, he's never going to make another one of these. They're too long to make. We had this conversation.
Have you already taken the down payments for the new ones?
No.
Okay,
there will be no more made ever.
Hold on.
He'll
I thought
halfway
he already-
finish 3, maybe.
So you're saying these are
Anyway.
passing comments. It's like when you meet somebody that you don't really like, but they don't know that, and you're like, yeah, we should get together. And they're like, yeah, let's do that. And then you never.
Anyway, so
yeah, it's like that.
This
You'll
whole
see.
conversation is going on, and then he looks down and he's like, "Oh, I dropped my protein bar on the floor," and then leans over and is about to pick up, because I looked at it, was about to pick up what looks like a tiny chunk of protein bar, and then he stops 1 centimeter from it, and he's like, "I think that's poo poo."
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
And then he's like, "Oh
This
shit! I track shit everywhere." And then I look.
Is that
and
why the whole studio
there's shit
smells like
footprints.
shit? And I'm getting my hair cut, and this guy thought it was his fucking protein bar? Who needs glasses now, motherfucker?
So-
those blue blockers are going to help you see.
By the way-
Oh my God, you were this close to eating a fucking turd.
So close.
Oh my God! And you
I-
were just talking about how much you like those protein bars that your wife's brother said or something, right?
So all I
Oh
do
my God.
to light the fuse is like, oh, Daniel's gonna be pissed about that because I know that'll trigger Travis's anxiety, and
That's mean.
which
'cause
it
I wasn't
did.
even-
That's the first fucking thing he said.
And I wasn't even mad.
Yeah, yeah.
I walked in, I'm like, it kind of smells like shit in here. You're like, it's all cleaned up. It's all cleaned up.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
swear to God. I'm like, what? I don't fucking care.
So then Travis panics, and so
is he running around crazy?
He starts to run around. Then
Where did he step in dog shit?
Then remembers that he still has shit in his shoe, so he takes his shoe
For
off.
first he ran around for like an hour.
And he's like, fuck! And he's got shit on his shoe, and then so he takes it outside, then he immediately starts cleaning up the carpet, he's rubbing the shit out, all the spots of all the way, and then vacuuming it up. So then he's got a big shit clog on the bottom of his shoe. So he's like, I don't know how to get this off. I can't, it's stuck in the treads, like pressed in there like Play-Doh. So I'm like, I think there's a spigot in the back, in our back door, like somewhere, because I remember it leaking one time. We had to call Emerald because our water bill's $300. And so then he's like, all right. And then he goes out, he opens the door, and then I hear him like, all right, good job, boss, it's right here. And then I hear him turn on the spigot, and then him go, because he turns it on, and then he's holding his shit shoe, and it blasts with the force of a miniature fire hose, which blasts
Oh my
the
God.
shit
Is
shoe
that why?
in water.
Okay, so when I got here, his shoes are out front, just in a pool of water.
Yeah. Because he drenched
God.
his whole. Oh, by the way, before he did that, he was in his like one shoe or one sock, and then he's like, "Ah, shit, I can't go outside. It's like a little dewy out. I want to wet my sock."
Dewy.
So then he wraps his foot in a Winn-Dixie bag. So I'm not joking. He's vacuuming with his foot in a Winn-Dixie bag.
Why?
And then
For humidity? Because it was like wet cold outside?
No, I put I took off both my shoes, and I walked it outside, and I had to stand in like it's like a mulch over there, and it's all wet still, so I'd protect the socks, man. So I put plastic bags on my feet.
my
and,
God, man.
So
Really?
after he drenched his
Wet
shoe,
socks are bad.
He's out front, and then I hear him getting into some a confrontation or a shouting match with someone walking by and made some comment about him stepping in shit. And then there's some chopper
Look at
exchange.
this fucking idiot.
You know?
You're like, fuck you.
Is that something? Yeah, he gets in some of the chopper exchange.
What happened?
I thought this is the entire time you're getting a haircut. Then by the time everything calmed down, by the time you walked in, you're like, smells like shit in here. And then you saw the rest of that.
I did.
Yeah. So that was a Wednesday.
Who were you fighting with?
It was some guy walking his dog, and he's like, I was sitting there like banging off my shoe on the pillar out there, and he's like, shit, huh? And I was like, yeah. He's like, that's good luck. And I was like, not my fucking world.
My God. I'll fucking kill you. By
the way,
he was just trying to be nice.
I'm trying to teach my sons, because all kids are choppers, and we've talked about this before, and all kids...
May is a Class A chopper.
Well,
I mean, she's really chop crazy.
Yeah, not only chop, but they'll have the chopper thing where you look at someone and you just say out loud whatever unfortunate thing is going on with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like old or like fat, whatever it is, like big, like like ugly. They'll just say
Old, white, fat.
Yeah, and then you're like, ugh. And then so I'm trying to
Fat, handicap, slow.
I'm trying to teach them. I'm like, listen, you can't just point out things like this because it embarrasses people and it's insensitive and it hurts people's feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, so keep those comments to yourself, because Travis, apparently hadn't grown out of this, because he wills to be like, what's wrong with him? Like, any sort of disability you have.
You loud talk like my wife, too. Like, when we're leaving Publix, he'll see somebody doing something wrong, undoubtedly, and he'll loud talk it like my wife does. Andrea does this. She'll be like,
look at that fucking idiot.
I'm like, do you think you're whispering?
Or,
do you think you are? Because you're not.
Or if
I'm going to be the one on the hook when the guy comes back and El kabongs me over the head.
Yeah, or like, I'm trying to sneak off to take a shit in Publix. He's like, where are you going?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, he's just asking.
Where you going, boss?
I have been guilty of this one time. We had this friend, and Crystal still reminds me that I did this, and we were eating at Wing House.
Is this a new story?
No, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to embarrass him, but I looked at his armpits. I'm like, why are your armpits gray? Remember?
That was my favorite.
That was my only, and remember, I was like, I still beat myself up for being a chopper there.
To your credit, we were
obviously
we were
an obesity
probably
problem.
3/4 of a 24-ounce mega beer in. Okay, so you're 18 ounces in, right? Mm-hmm. So I give you a pass, and this guy's no longer, or no, he's big again. He's probably got gray arms again.
I was gonna say, and it's just your luck. He lost weight. He's healthy, and his armpits.
Do your armpits go back after they're gray? I don't think they do. Well, I think once they go gray, they stay gray forever.
It's the rubbing. It's the rubbing. It's something. Anyway, don't point out things. Just keep it to yourself. If there's a little drop of pee-pee on someone's dockers, don't be like, what is that? What's that? Well, it's just assume it's
what
a
about
drop of
zipper?
pee-pee. Don't
what
talk
about zipper down?
No, that's fine. You're doing a favor because they can fix it.
Zipper down with drip.
You're just don't bring it up. Don't talk about it.
What about blemish?
Don't bring up.
What about
blemishes.
spinach?
Yeah, blemishes.
Spinach on the teeth is fine because
I do that to you all the time.
You could say do something about that.
Lipstick on the teeth for ladies.
Once your armpits are gray, you can't do anything about it.
I think you can moisturize them. You need
not
to
at
keep
that point. So
it's the thighs that get gray. That's real.
I want people to point out a blemish on me. Like, I want to get rid of it. I don't want to walk around with a pimple all day.
Well, I'm not talking about that. Well, okay.
Well, you're not going to pop it right in front of them. That's disgusting.
Well,
it's the old "what's wrong with your foot?" There's obviously something that is genetically wrong with someone's foot that they can't fix. It's not. Anyway, so speaking of bigger people.
Oh yes.
So this happened to me yesterday. I was driving down I-4 and I'm getting off at Lee Road, right? And tell me what you think about this. I get off at Lee Road and I stop at the stoplight, and it's often where people panhandle, right?
Yeah.
And there's certain exits off of I-4 that is like.
I think I've seen less panhandling.
A lot of panhandling.
I think I've seen less.
Well, I think it's the neighborhood. Over at Castle Panhandle.
No, I mean like in general, but maybe that's just me. Like, I haven't been. I probably decreased the amount of time I've been driving. That would make sense.
So, there is a panhandler walking up. I could tell because she's got a sign. And she's doing the quintessential when all the cars stop, you start your slow walk up the on-ramp, right? Hoping to, that everybody sees you.
Yeah.
And then, everybody just, they see them, they just pretend to stare straight as if they don't.
I usually pick up my phone or pretend to change my radio station.
Yeah. So,
right? Like most people, have you ever had the guy that comes right up to your window and he's like knocking on it?
Yeah, I've had the knocker.
Those guys are aggressive and they're a little bit scary.
They don't last. That's when they're in the panic mode because their pain pills are about to diarrhea their pants. You start knocking because you got to get it.
Well, inside of you is knocking.
You got to get your poison. This is an emergency. So this particular panhandler And a bunch of thoughts went through my head in the span of 2 minutes, and I'll tell you all my thoughts. And this is how crazy I am. So this is a woman, and now which is
alone,
a little more rare, yes, but also a really big woman. Now, first thought that went through my mind was that you don't see that many big, like,
panhandlers.
Yeah, you can't use the term morbidly obese anymore, right? As insulting.
Is it?
I don't know.
I thought that was the only way.
Yeah,
I thought that was a scientific term.
Yeah, but I think it's insinuating that.
I think the term you're looking for is
that's only insulting if you are morbidly obese.
What about big fat slob?
I mean,
that's like generic.
Anyway, this person
BFS?
was really, really big. And
how big is really big? Bigger than that girl we saw that one time walking into the.
Not that big, yeah. This person was 300.
Okay, how was she moving though? Because that's really what matters.
Moving slow, real slow. And
if they're 300, but they move like Shaquille O'Neal, move like a point guard. I'm like, look at him.
That's impressive.
So
it is impressive.
She wasn't 7 foot tall. It's like she was big.
It's like my size.
And so
my height.
I got two thoughts initially. One is you don't see that many really big panhandlers, and I thought to myself, I was like,
thick is the only acceptable term now. The Twitch chat, twitch.tv/Tom and N live. It's a thick lady.
That'd be it would be insulting to thick
to death.
Yeah, because
how about thick to death?
Because if you call someone thick and they're on the same spectrum as, I mean, are you real big?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's unfair to the person who's just thick.
You know a word we underuse? Jumbo.
Yeah. This is a jumbo.
Okay, that's a jumbo scenario.
And I thought to myself, I was like, it's probably because.
And if they're dumb, you call them jumbo dumbo.
If you are a really big person, people are psychologically less likely to give you any money because...
No, more likely. Bigger target. I can see you better.
Well, because I think people would think, they're not hungry because, like, they're big. You know what I'm saying? Like, why don't you see more giant... obese panhandlers, and I think it's because they don't make as much money because people don't give them money because they associate being that big with not being hungry, which I'd argue that they're probably hungrier than the skinny guy
because they require more food just by size,
or just hey, look at this guy, he's real hungry all the time, or lady. So I contend they're
also
more hungry.
Harder for you to find a space, right? If you are, I'm being serious. If you are a ginormous human,
it's harder to walk in the median.
Yeah, and you're panhandling, it would be very hard for you to tuck into small areas.
Yeah.
Like,
this woman did have a metal folding chair, which I saw seriously for her breaks. Like when
that's pretty cool.
I was like how do you
like
where did
the
that
ones
come from?
that you fold open?
Yeah, like a wrestler would hit you with. Like that was
like a wrestling.
It was her
steel chair,
sitting chair.
Did at any point you see Brian Knobb from the Nasty Boys?
So I
think he's dead.
I started thinking to myself, I was like, you don't see too many real big panhandlers, probably because of psychological.
They're called frying panhandlers.
And then I thought, if you were a big panhandler, it's better to be a woman. Because of this fact, on her sign, it said, please help, I'm 16 weeks pregnant.
I knew she was going to do pregnant.
And then some other stuff, but it was like 16 weeks pregnant. And then I was like, brilliant.
Yeah,
I was like, if you're a big panhandle, like a real big, you can go the pregnant route and then, get the sympathy from that. Plus, the fact that you're big hides people's ability to tell if you're pregnant or not.
That's true.
But then, this all went through my head. Then I thought, why didn't she say that she was more further along than 16 weeks? Like she was big.
Maybe that would be a telltale for a lie, right?
Not with this
if she said like
person because
8 months pregnant.
You wouldn't be able to tell. I'm telling you, this person was that big that there would be no ability. Then I got mad, and then I said, why didn't she put 5 or 6 months? Like, why didn't she put further than 16 weeks? Because 2 reasons. One,
you'd have to find out when she wrote the sign.
Well, that's my wife. By the way, this is the kind of shit that I yell to my wife about she's cooking, and she don't want to hear.
This is a justified divorce.
Save
it for the show. No, say it to Crystal. I don't want that shit.
And then, so I'm like, why didn't she put a 6 months pregnant? Because you wouldn't be able to tell. So she could get away with doing it. It'd be literally impossible to tell. Okay, then B, you would get more money because people would be like, whoa, 6 months pregnant.
Yeah.
I better give her $1 because, it's happened. She's going to give birth soon. She's going to have a baby.
She was honest. And it fucked her.
So then I thought, maybe she's honest.
Yeah.
And then I gave her $1.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah, I think I would too. I think I would do all that math, and you get to the end, you're like, oh shit, I think this lady fucked up just by being honest.
Then, as I drove away, I got mad that she was honest because I was like, what? Like, you
need to let it go once you've done
No, because then I'm like, you're obviously in a rough situation. No, who knows how you got there? Nobody wants to be panhandling on the corner of Lee Road and I-4. So whatever happened to you, and this, I feel like this to all panhandlers. I don't give a shit if I give them money, they buy drugs. In fact, give a panhandler drugs and they'll be happy as shit. I saw a BDM gave a panhandler a Coors Light cold, and he said it made his day. Like, everybody's get too hung up on what the fuck.
I think he gave him some money and a cold tall boy. Oh, I love a cold Coors Light tall boy.
Everybody gets hung up on what they're going to buy with the money. Like, who cares what they're going to buy?
No, I am a big believer in that. My wife will say that she's probably going to buy drugs, and I'm like, good. And I hope that she has fun while she's ODing. It's fucking shitty out there,
you
right?
You can't buy that much drugs for $1.
Yeah, drugs are better than a taquito.
I gave the guy $5. Like, what do you think he's going to do?
Yeah.
And what do you think he's been doing?
So, of course, good for him, but he's in a bad way. Anyway, so
make sure you only get food with this. Fuck that.
I was thinking, like, when you're writing the sign and obviously panhandling, just put why be honest. It's like you're like, what's important? My integrity at this moment. I do not want to lie to a bunch of strangers that I'm walking up and down. You know what I'm saying?
The pregnancy one I've seen before. You know what was a nice touch that I've seen before on homeless people? They put the sonogram up there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Too far.
And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, how did they get the printout? And I don't know.
In the dumpster.
But what I will say is that it takes a special type of homeless person to hold on to your sonogram and keep it like pristine so you can eventually glue stick it to a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, or
you know what I
mean? Yeah, don't make it so real that we, for the rest of the day, think about how sad it actually is that any person is going to have, give birth to a
I
human.
have a little bit of time. My window's down. Lay on that bench and show me how dilated you are.
You see that gap.
Okay, that didn't need to be said. That was too far. That was too far. Let's do our shot.
All right.
Because we're going to ease into our break. We're going to do news a little early today with our buddy Ross. And I think we're going to use Zoom. That's another thing that we did this week. We switched over from Skype to Zoom. We can do both now, but now he can see us.
Yeah, because before the guests could only see one person at a time.
Yeah, they could only see one camera, but now we've been able to engineer it with a virtual camera so you can see the entire show. So we'll be doing some more Zoom calls and just trying to get better.
Oh, two things before the shot. The parenting. So one is Max, we this week or last week, can't remember, we gave Max a T-shirt to wear to school. He put it on, and then we could tell something was bothering him, and he's like, I want to wear another shirt or whatever. And
well,
like, why?
It was a very, very, I won't say what it is, but let's just say politically divisive style shirt. We don't do that here, but I'm not going to say what it said.
That's some horns.
But it's just,
so I was like, what's wrong? And then he was tearing up a little bit.
Oh, my God.
So Crystal, I'm like, what's wrong? Tell me. I'm not. And Crystal does the.
What are you pregnant? You big fat slob?
Get on the knee. What's wrong?
Oh, you get down to his level. I never do that.
No, I'm saying, what's wrong? Wear the shirt.
Crystal gets on his level. I don't do that. I stand over Maisie, and then I try to stand on her step stool to stand I want to be terrifying.
So he then tells her that it's a baby butt shirt. And now I'll explain. Max and Tommy call things baby butt if they consider it being too young for them. You see what I'm saying? Like they call now PJ Masks is baby butt. Or like all these old things.
Did they create their slang?
They created their own slang. So
does this go along with mouse bro? I remember mouse bro. And what I deduced when I was really high is that because there are characters within the Nintendo universe that use bro on the end of it. There's like Punch Bro and Jump Bro, and then I was like, that's what he did. He just made Mouse Bro the stick.
So he didn't want to wear the shirt had a dinosaur, but like a drawing of a dinosaur or whatever.
This is baby butt,
and he didn't like it, and he wanted to change the shirt.
Did that?
He's in kindergarten, which is odd to me. That tells me that there's some sort of ingrained. By the way, Tommy's never done this one time. He's wear Yoda. He loves his Yoda.
Me and Tommy are hashtag baby butt for life, son. I want to be a kid until I die.
He puts the Yoda hoodie on, and then it has eyes. Oh my God! I try to slap it off. No,
you leave him alone. Leave him alone. I still dress up in my dad's fat stripper costume and run around the house just to make everybody laugh. Leave him alone.
So I'm like, how does this kid, or how is he worried about what is cool?
What's
or
Tommy's
being perceived?
take? While Max is like,
it doesn't even register to Tommy because that's not important to him. So this leads me to believe there's some sort of ingrained cool gene that Max has that, or at least makes him concerned about looking or being cool around others. That I have no idea where he got it from. It has to be some shit that he was born with.
Can I ask you some questions about the two boys?
Yeah.
Do they have this? Well, obviously they're in separate grades, so they have different friends. Do you see a difference? And I'm not trying to be judgmental. Do you see a difference between the kids that Max congregates with and the kids that Tommy congregates with?
I don't see, because you drop your kid off of school and then you
don't
pick
get
him
to
up.
go inside. I know. I said that to Andrea. I said, this is the weirdest thing ever is that my daughter started school and I've not been in there. I don't even really know, not to sound like conspiracy man, but if somebody said, for the last year she's been going to a warehouse and we just put her in a small cage, I'd be like, oh my God, I wouldn't know. But I've never been in the school.
But that was like that even pre-pandemic. You just, when they start public school, you just drop them off and then pick them up and shit. They, not like it used to be. You can't always wander inside, they lock that shit down.
Concrete Mike from our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, he says, who would have thought that the Toad King would say this? He says, Deion Sanders says, if you dress good, you feel good.
So
Max is like a little fashion plate, huh?
Or I'm just fascinated with the fact that it matters to him and that's something that's internal that wasn't learned by any of.
But he
wasn't learned from his brother, wasn't learned from any of us, obviously.
But he doesn't goof on his brother for liking.
No.
Yeah,
interesting. Another thing too, at dinner, he started explaining how he's got a girlfriend in class, which blew my goddamn socks off because I was like, "You're in kindergarten,
he's grabbing that baby butt."
And
I shouldn't have said that.
I also assumed that, and he does think like this, like it's like gross, like every time I kiss Crystal, they're like, they're at that stage. It's like, shows of affection.
Yeah, May hates it,
but he's like, I had this girl in class, she likes me, or whatever, and then Tommy, because he's like a logical robot, a little bit of me. He's like, why don't you tell her you don't like that? Like, because Max like she tries to kiss me, and then
cute.
Max like, or Tommy's like, why don't you tell her you don't like it? And then Max says, well, I don't want to hurt her feelings.
Oh my God!
And then I was like, donkeys,
that's you.
Got me. Yeah,
no confrontation, kiss for life. Give me the Corona.
Then I remembered this, and when I was in middle school, either middle school or freshman, in high school, whatever, there was a girl that sat next to me. This could probably be middle school, and she asked me to be her boyfriend. I was too awkward to say no, so I said yes, and then I think I was this person's boyfriend for like weeks.
I did the same thing.
And then people would be like, "Hey, I heard you're Jeanette's boyfriend," and I'm like, and then I was afraid to tell them no, because I didn't want them to embarrass her, so I'd be like, yes. But the whole time I didn't want to do this. I just said yes.
Yeah, I had a sadder.
That's no way to live.
So my first girlfriend, I asked her, it was like going out, right? That's what you said?
Yeah.
Or we're going together. Excuse me, going together is
what
what we said. That was the terminology. So I remember I asked this girl, Heather, I won't say her last name, her family still lives in town, in DeLand, and I asked her to go out with me. And I could tell, even at that age, I'm trying to remember what age I was. I know I was in elementary school. I want to say I was maybe a little bit older than Tommy. So let's say I'm maybe 7 or 8. And I'd purchased her one of those remember the Rodney and Rhonda reindeers that Hallmark did? They were like beanbag reindeers. They're dolls. Very popular at Christmas time. Rodney reindeer and Rhonda reindeer, and you would buy them, and you just like set them. It was like a Hallmark thing. It was real big.
I don't know your 1970s term.
It's not 1970s. I was born in 76.
I know the Burt Reynolds in a truck, and then there's a monkey driving it.
No, that was Smokey and the Bandit and BJ and the Bear. Completely separate things. So I remember asking her to go out and giving her with asking her to go out because I talked to my mom and dad about it, and they, I think my dad, being a gentleman, and courting my mom, had mentioned that it would be nice if I was asking her out to give her a small gift, like a token of appreciation and a card. So I did. I wrote a card. I bought her the reindeer with my own money, and I gave it to her. She agreed, and she was like my girlfriend. And then she broke up with me the next day, and then I had another girl tell me that the only reason that this particular girl, Heather, had gone out with me was to get the reindeer, and that she broke up with me because I was short, and she thought I was disgusting.
I'm sorry.
So there you go.
I genuinely
She did not use the term disgusting. She did use the term gross, and yes, it is burned into my brain. And yes, every morning I wake up and I flash back. I can remember it vividly, and I cry every single day I live. Because it hurts so fucking bad to have people be so fucking mean. So
that made you tougher, right?
It does make you tougher. Once you've been told that at the age of 8, is there really anything else that you can be told until you die that's going to cut that bad?
Yeah. Seemed like it did a lot more damage than good, actually. Starting to go against this whole... Hey, if you're really, really traumatized, you're a tougher person. I'm like, it turns out...
This is the second week in a row that he's agreed that his whole theory is absolutely incorrect.
You're tough, but you're all fucked up, too. Can you be tough and not fucked up? I think that's where I gotta...
But I'm only tough in certain areas. I mean, like, mentally, I'm pretty fucking tough. Like, like you've always said, it's amazing that you can just get on your... or stop drinking or stop smoking or get... Like, I can stop smoking whenever I want. I can stop drinking whenever I want. But I'm pretty fucked up, I guess. Yeah. Kids are mean.
Let's do this shot.
All right. Yeah, kids are way meaner than adults, man.
I just tell it like it is.
All right, cheers to Sam and Trav's anniversary. We bless you with all the love that you can bear. I'm pretty bad at this, and I don't care. P.S. I just farted in your chair. Bad at Toast 902 and Happy anniversary, Sam, Trav. By the way, this is... Shark Bite whiskey. We just finished it, so this stuff is amazing.
Yeah,
it's
that's my
cinnamon
favorite.
Whiskey from Sugarworks Distillery out in New Smyrna Beach. Awesome sponsor of ours. Check them out. They have rocks glasses. If you buy a bottle, get a rocks glass.
Yeah, I'm not drinking right now, so that right there.
Ooh. Oh, it's good. Yeah,
I feel so yummy right now. That is my favorite of their products, and I don't mind saying it. It's got a more of. This is not a diss, but it's got more of a real cinnamon taste. There are other cinnamon flavored whiskeys out there. This one. If you like real cinnamon, this has a very, very pure,
authentic.
Yeah, and it's less sweet.
It's not syrupy
the other stuff.
The other Fireball.
Stuff. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't going to say their name, but
sorry.
In case they want to sponsor. I'm like, I love them. No, I'm kidding.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get Ross on with the news.
Indeed, man, we got good music today. I got weird music for you guys today, and it's amazing that we can even play this type of stuff. You're going to hear it coming out of the break. We're going to start with a punk band called Total Massacre. They have a new song called Get Rich or Try Dying. It's really good. But the one you're going to hear coming out of the break is a brand new song from Danny Elfman. And when you hear it, it's going to sound a lot like Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a very, very weird song. It's the second single that he's released. He's in this phase now, and I think COVID kind of got him there, where he feels like he needs to produce rock music, kind of like he did back in Oingo Boingo. I was a massive Oingo Boingo fan back in the day. I think this guy, you're not going to get any better when it comes to musicianship, but I would like to hear your thoughts on this particular song because it is really weird. It is a very weird song. It's called Sorry. So that's what you'll hear coming out of the break. Let's start with some just regular good old punk rock music. This is Total Massacre. Get Rich or Try Dying. It came up on my time hop, and I want to say almost 10 years ago to the day, you and your wife introduced me and my wife to the beauty, to the elegance, to the deliciousness that is Gringos Locos.
Yeah. Back then,
it used to be like a hidden
downtown. Yeah. I mean, going to Gringo's after a night of partying.
I do miss those
tradition.
days, man. I think back on. Look, I'm not going to trade anything. I love my daughter. I love being married. I love what we've created. But there is a special part of me that's kind of left in that area of like, we're downtown, we're partying, let's hit up Gringos, we're blasted.
Yeah.
So fun.
That was back when they just had their original location downtown in Washington.
Now what are we looking at?
Yeah.
Michigan that's not even the newest.
Yeah, no. Well, then it went from Washington, then they got the Milk District location.
That's our home location. You can go there.
Yeah.
Parking is small, but you'll love it.
Yeah, then, of course, the Michigan Avenue location and UCF location kind of opened at the same time. They have their, like, catering facility on Lee Road.
It's like home base.
Which you could order from.
It's like Taco NORAD. It's like they can, you're doing a party with 500 people, they can handle it. You're doing a party with 5 people. I like to call that the Bart Merrick. Bart has small parties, but where Bart always wins is he has premium drinks and premium food. You got to give people good food.
Yeah, if you're just having close friends and family over to watch football, get some Gringos catering, order Gringos for dinner tonight. Treat yourself.
It is the gift that keeps
Double
on giving.
D's.
Yeah, what I mean by that is the leftovers will not last long. They are you can freeze them. You had a party for your son, and then a weekend later had another party because you had so much food left over.
Yep.
It's our good friends at Gringos Locos. They've only sponsored us. I think we're the only advertising they do.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to us. So if you haven't tried them, go out there, support local. It's Gringos Locos, gringoslocos.com. On the go.
Just call Mo.
On the go.
Just call Mo.
On the go.
Just call Mo.com.
Need we say I honestly don't know how to feel about that. That's Danny Elfman. Welcome back to the show. That's his second single. That's called Sorry. It's, I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah, it is very, very weird. But let's go to something that's less weird. How about this?
Ross's piece of shit news.
Ross's News today brought to you by Johnny's Other Side. If you haven't checked out the brand new renovation, it's awesome. Outdoors, which is great, especially now, and especially with this weather.
Yeah,
go check out their brunch
nice outside.
They've got live music, $3 craft beers. Johnny's Other Side.
You know what I always say about Johnny's? I say they have the best tots in town.
They do, yes, yeah.
They had a great advanced fingering class.
I still think you could probably order the Real Man burger that we, my God.
You could...
How long ago was that?
The tarp is up on the wall. Me and Bart went there for lunch maybe 3 weeks ago, and the tarp is still on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And it's sun-baked, right?
Well, it's been there for 8 or 9 years at this
it's been
point.
there forever. And all the nails that are in the ground, all the drunk people that have gotten hurt.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's just...
How have we not been able got sued by now?
How many we got enough? I don't even know what that means. What is that? How many we got sued?
How you doing, Ross?
I think the majority of the previous Hammerschlagen area is now paved over. They kind of did some remodeling over there.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Ross, remember when the Hammerschlagen guys emailed us and said because we used the word Hammerschlagen that they were going to sue us?
Yes.
Well, they emailed me again, I want to say a couple of months ago during the pandemic, and I just emailed them back and said, go fuck yourself. And I was like, sue us, come to get us, because I was like, it's the end of the world anyway, so come and get me. Those people, they have an attorney that will scrape anybody in North America that uses the term Hammerschlagen for an event, and then they will send a cease and desist. And say they're going to sue you. It's ridiculous.
They're trying to someone sort of money grab or hey.
They say they own the game. And you can't stop me from playing a game.
Didn't they say that we had to pay them a certain royalty if we wanted to keep, not get sued? It's blackmail, right?
I'm like, are you crazy? We had kids hitting it with hammers with no eye protection.
I don't know if you guys remember, they ran out of bottled root beer because my kid beat so many grown men in Hammerschlagen, and the deal was we had to buy the other guy beer.
That's right.
Also, those grown men are blind drunk too. Oh man,
it was, top to bottom, not our finest day, but hey, we made it through and everybody's okay.
All right, Ross, what do we got for the first story?
All right, let's go to Florida and Australia have a lot of things in common. They both have Melbourne, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Melbourne, Australia. This guy, Tony Whitman, his cat got picked up, right? And it ended up at this place called the Lost Dogs Home Shelter. He called them on a Monday evening, and they told him, "Sir, yes, we have your cat. You're going to have to wait until tomorrow morning to come in and pick it up."
Okay.
So they're estimating Tony would have had to wait about 10 hours. Tony instead chose to dress in full camo gear. He tacticaled up.
Mm-hmm.
He went in, took a lady hostage.
I should laugh at that.
Tied her up and told her, if you do as I say and listen to me, I won't shoot you. Got his cat, told her to count to 100 before she called the cops, and then took off.
I do miss that move, the old start counting, and then they never get to the full. They wait till you leave, and then they call.
Yeah,
They're
you know what I've always
fucking liars.
You know what I've always wanted to do. Now, Ross, this is low on the list, so don't get concerned. But I've always wanted to hold somebody hostage, and then say, count to 100. Nothing will happen to you. I'm going to leave. Count to 100 before you call the cops. And I fucking mean it. Count to 100 before you call the cops. And then I'll slip out, and I'll do that move where I'll go like,
yes.
And I'll step. I'll be like,
then you Michael Winslow starts like,
yeah. And then they'll be like, 1, 2, 3. Hey, I'm still here. And then I'm
pulling their head off.
Or maybe I do it calmly, and I'm like, I'm still here. I'm going to let that slide, but man, that was disrespectful.
So did he?
Now, you remember, I talked to Steve Cantwell, a comic who was taken hostage one time.
Yes.
And I forget exactly what they told him, what to do, like a certain amount of time or something. But I was like, what did you do? He was I just laid there until my brother came and got me.
It turns out he was just like, you don't want to die. That's the number one. You're like, all right, I'll just do whatever. Just don't kill me.
I only know one person who's ever been held hostage, and that is our friend. And he's a writer and performer on the Shannon Burke program. His name is Bubba Whoop-Ass Wilson. And he was taken hostage at a Wendy's. And he said they made him lay on the
7-Eleven.
Yes. Oh no, they had robbed a Wendy's.
Oh, okay. Oh, right.
They fled the Wendy's to the 7-Eleven, where he was in there, and he said it took him a long time to pee because of his prostate. They forced him on the ground like a goddamn dog. He was laying where everybody else had pee-peed, and then they made him do the count.
They made him count to 100 in the pee-pee. Goddamn dog.
Yeah, lick the pee-pee, you goddamn lying dog.
How many Oxycontin was he on?
I don't know. How many Oxycontin do you need to take to imagine that you're being taken hostage?
So, now this guy, Ross, did he make a statement of I couldn't leave my cat in there alone one more night? Did they give any explanation about why
Fair enough.
He went and stole his cat back?
He told police that on multiple occasions the cat had, quote, brought me back from the brink, end quote.
It's his best friend.
Right. This is a crazy person. Oh, yeah. So, crazy person that believes that the cat has powers to keep him not crazy.
Well, he's projected human.
Needed to do a crazy thing. And then I blame the cat for not being there to tell me that I shouldn't have done this.
I mean, he killed the cat after he got it home, right?
No, I think, I don't. You know what? It doesn't say what happened to the cat here.
Yeah. And in Australia,
but the cat came back the very next day. Isn't that the old children's song, Ross?
He thought he was a goner. Yeah.
Also, hard to get a gun in Australia, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was the fact that he even had a gun means that he extra crazy. I think because I think they're tough to come by over there.
He's got to live in the bush.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess then it always boils down to this person's chemically imbalanced or mentally ill or whatever. This is why he didn't think this out. But
sure, but if all this guy needed was his Valium to get through the night, wouldn't you be an asshole for not giving the Valium under the lost and found counter?
I definitely understand that he's panicking and needs his cat, but I often don't understand his forethought in the fact that you will probably go to jail for doing this, and then you're not going to have your cat for years potentially armed, hostage. I don't know. This is a serious crime.
Okay.
So now you went from one night to the next 5 years, and this cat is going to be given to a shelter anyway.
But his goldfish told him he could get away with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mental.
Are there any jails that have toyed with the idea of letting prisoners rehabilitate themselves through having a pet of some sort?
Yes, but it's like
there was that show Pitbull and Parolees.
Yeah.
And it was
it's not their
like,
own pet.
It was all like slightly trashy women with tramp stamp tattoos that were in jail for meth that rescued pit bulls. That was a great program.
Yeah,
also the one with the little people too.
Yeah, Pit Boss. That was a good one too.
They do this.
I thought it was fucked up. They let Michael Vick into that program. But.
Yeah.
Well, what's the next story, Ross?
Also in Australia, I'm sure you guys heard about that pigeon that made its way from Oregon to Australia, and they were going to chop its tiny little head off because they were worried it was going to give all the Australian birdies COVID, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what happened?
You didn't hear about this?
No.
Okay, Ross, you might have to back up a little bit.
So I will catch you up then. There was a pigeon. This guy in Australia found a pigeon in his yard, right? It's got a tag on it. He looked the tag up on the internet, and it seemed to indicate that it was this guy from Alabama's pigeon. And he contacts this guy. The guy's like, oh, shit, I haven't seen that pigeon since I raced it in Oregon. And then, the narrative that people kind of strung together was this pigeon must have busted ass over to the coast, hopped on a boat, and caught a ride to Australia, 8,000 miles. They're saying, right? But what is now breaking news? They were also going to cut the little fucker's head off or something. They were going to kill it, Tom, because they were worried it was breaking quarantine, right? And so
can birds carry COVID?
I don't know.
The Australia was worried enough about this bird giving COVID to its birds that they were going to kill this little fucking bird that they named Joe after Joe Biden for whatever reason. And but now authorities have determined that the racing band that they found on this pigeon is a counterfeit. It's not a real racing band, and they think they've determined now that they're 100% sure it's a local pigeon, and they're just going to set it loose. The bird is free, y'all.
So what they did was, some jokester said they raised these pigeons in Alabama or Oregon, so I'm going to emulate the band and then put it on a pigeon to make people think that a pigeon caught a ride on a boat 8,000 miles? Is that the end game?
What is it? Who's got the
complicated nerd prank?
Also,
but it worked because it made major news. So I mean, I guess I can't really shit on it too bad.
But is that the goal? Is this will disrupt waste a bunch of people's time?
No,
what is it?
I think it's just to get on the news. What say you, Ross? What would you think if you were going to do this? What's the end game here?
I didn't even think through the why of it. I just accepted it. But my one thought is that I think they were worried about the negative PR of axing this little bird. And I think they came back to Tom's initial reaction like, do birds even carry COVID? If I had to guess or make up a conspiracy theory or something, I think they just made up their minds they don't need to kill this little bird, and they came up with a story to do it.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's ever heard a counterfeit bird racing band?
No.
What the fuck is that?
Also,
no.
It's not like New Zealand. Australia's got COVID everywhere, like every other country, right? It's like they haven't
it's different.
Totally eradicated it. So I'm sure if the birds could get it, their birds got it. Like one American Alabama pigeon's not going to start spreading it. And also, I know.
God, it sounds like a Pixar movie, right? Alabama pigeon racing, gets lost, gets on a boat, winds up in Australia, starring some of Australia's biggest stars like Paul Hogan.
Also,
doing the voices of these beloved pigeon characters.
News agencies.
Yahoo Serious?
Yeah. I don't know any other famous Australians, so those are the
two.
Yeah, those are the two we know, but I would watch that. It'd be kind of fun.
Quit telling us what lions in the zoo have COVID. No one gives a shit. Does anybody care?
Oh, my God. I didn't even know lions in the zoo had COVID. They do?
Every once in a while, they make these two lions have COVID. Fucking people are dying everywhere. Who gives a shit about these lions?
Yeah, I don't care if they
seem fine. They're sitting there looking at it like...
Last time I checked, those lions weren't my grandma. Are they?
Yeah.
They're not? Oh, don't care.
What's next, Ross?
Okay, I'm going to steal one from, I believe, probably EJ here. I think I'm going to get to it before he does. Charles Barkley. Did he get to this one before me?
No.
Charles Barkley is going on the record as saying that professional athletes, this is his take on the COVID virus vaccine waiting list. He thinks professional athletes should be among the first to receive vaccines, but he's got a really good reason, you guys. Here's Barkley on why professional athletes should get vaccines. 300 million shots. Give 1,000 to some NBA players, NFL players, hockey players. Listen, as much taxes as these players pay, let me repeat that. As much taxes as these players pay, they deserve some preferential treatment, end quote. And that all of that, including the let me repeat that was Charles Barkley.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I mean, it's a point he's got. It's what
he
now
makes sense.
Whether it's insensitive or not, that's a different argument. But he's got an actual point. That,
well, the new thing now is everybody's kicking around because, like in the state of Florida, it's like older people are getting the shots, and then some people are battling. Like, well, why don't you give it to the people that are spreading it the most? Old people aren't seemingly spreading it the most. Give it to and then people don't understand the facts, and then they don't understand what the vaccine even does or how long it lasts. And so you get all these people that don't fully understand it just arguing with each other. Just be better to sit back, relax a little bit, and let's just let this thing shake a little more.
If you're like super rich, though, you can get it, right?
Well, you just check it. You
can buy it. You can buy it somewhere, right?
You can definitely do that.
You sign up for an old folks home. You don't go there, and then they get theirs for the invalids, and you get yours early. They're already doing that.
I wonder how much it costs. We need to talk to. The problem is the rich person will be embarrassed to tell us because for sure it's going on. Like all the super rich, they got the vaccine already. I'm virtually certain you could just easily buy it from somewhere.
Tom, if you are going to be shopping for some back alley COVID virus vaccine, be careful. Dateline London, man accused of allegedly tricking 92-year-old woman out of 160 pounds for a fake coronavirus vaccination.
All right.
Charged with fraud and common assault.
That is a good scam, by the way. Also, a good scam if you were scamming rich people, because I feel like at least they wouldn't find out for a long period of time whether it's what they got was bullshit or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how would they know? I feel like if you gave them a shot of some sugar water or the vaccine or whatever the hell, you gave them a flu vaccine, or it would take them a long time. I got a cough and it's not COVID, so
they would never.
Yeah. Well, I guess if they were like, "Oh, you got COVID," they're like, "I got the vaccine. I paid $10,000 for it."
Well, it's not foolproof, right?
Eventually found it out.
I don't think it's foolproof. So how would they know?
I'm super interested in like what someone paid for it. Like some rich guy. What do you think? I mean,
how much to get it?
They probably
10 G's.
Maybe less
early?
than that.
5 G's to get it early?
Anyway.
No, I'm serious. That's what happened right down the road. Old folks home in...
Yeah.
Ross, you might have... Yeah, I know you read that, but it was an old folks home, and then you had people that...
The board.
Yeah, that were on the board.
They were from New York.
And donors. High-paying donors.
And they just came in, and then they just put them on the list and gave them their vaccine, and then they flew away, and then people were incensed about it.
No, because they...
calling it vaccine tourism.
Yeah. All right, what's next, Ross?
Shit, we need some kind of tourism.
I know.
Speaking of UK crime, it's now being reported the biggest, well, not the biggest, I guess, but there's an epidemic right now. People are stealing dogs.
For what reason? Because they want a pet?
Right now, London is super fucking locked down. People want to have a dog, and I think maybe there might even be an exception to like you can get out and walk your dog for a minute if you have to walk your dog. That might even be a cause of it. But people are snatching up puppies to resell, and they're snatching up old dogs to take to farms to like force breed. They got like puppy mills going.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's disgusting. That kind of happened with all, like when lockdown, there was a huge shortage of like animal, like everybody wanted a pet, it was like human psychology.
I'm still on a waiting list for a Pac-Man frog.
That we all
I'm joking.
So what's crazy to me is that like this is on one aspect, like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are happy, like, hey, look at now, instead of putting these dogs to sleep, they all have homes, you know. Like,
sure.
Because just like everywhere, I imagine that, there's a lot of dogs in shelters that eventually just get put down because nobody wants them. So now you've eliminated that problem. But we'll go back, and that's the sad part. So it's like, now dogs are a shortage. Everybody's trying to find one, and it's like good for the dogs that were being killed in the shelters.
We'll be back to killing dogs soon. Don't worry.
Yeah. But I feel like in a couple years, it'll be just filled with dogs, especially these dogs that are unwanted. And then it's like
But we'll be back to normal, and that will feel good. So as much as it'll be sad for me to throw that bag of frozen dead cats into the dumpster behind the animal medical clinic, it will also be a marker letting me know that we're back to the way we were in 2018.
Also, let me ask you guys this. So say you're living by yourself.
That's a dream come true.
Yeah, okay.
My God. and maybe with a fat roommate that just like doesn't talk much. I'd love it.
Because this happens.
What's up, Dan?
This happens a lot where, you get the single lady or guy or whatever, they live in an apartment and then they get lonely. They don't have a boyfriend or a husband or whatever. And then they get a pet to keep them company, right? You hear that a lot. It's like, I got this pet, this cat, the dog, whatever, it keeps me company. But do you guys feel like your pet is keeping you company?
It does. Maggie the dog is my best friend. And I snuggle with her every night when I go to bed, and I love it. Yes.
But do you get
You're not a dog family anymore.
Feeling that you're not alone?
My dog is probably the person I talk to most in my family.
Yeah. I'm with Ross. I talk to Maggie the dog more than Maisie or Andrea. She spends more time with me. She smokes more weed with me. She plays Cyberpunk 2077 with me. Now, she looks at Pornhub with me. She does every well, she sits to the side.
Now, you're saying they're doing this all with you, but the dog is literally just sitting there, right? Not doing anything.
But she wants to be with me. She snuggles to my side. She wants to be with me, actively wants to be next to my body, yes.
So that's...
Certain shows my dog will watch. Certain shows my dog will not watch. My dog will watch me play Fortnite.
Yeah. Dogs like video games.
Do you like that?
Sits there with
I do
eyes
like
open.
it.
Yeah.
I do. I honestly love playing video games with Maggie the dog and smoking weed. That's my favorite thing.
Maybe I'm insane and I'm like some sort of sociopath.
You're not insane. You just hate fun. You're not insane. You're very much sane. You just hate having fun, and then you try to find.
Well, what's fun about it? The dog sitting there looking at you jack off. Like, what do you like about it? No, I just feel like if I'm in a room by myself and then you insert a dog into the situation, I feel no different than before or after. I'm just now in a room with an animal, and
you're not interacting with the animal.
I feel no common bond with the animal.
Literally be like a box you check off on the checklist of being a sociopath.
I don't think I am, though, because I feel like I have nothing in common with this animal. Like, I can't have deep conversations. It's not going to tell me shit.
No,
I don't get
You had a dog, and the dog loved you.
Sense of love from it, because I'm just like, it's the only reason it's near me is because
you loved your dog.
Generations of, no, I did, but I didn't.
You loved Lena, and Lena loved you.
No, I did, but I didn't feel like when me and Lena were in a room together, like, I don't feel as alone as I did before. Like, I'm like, I'm the only human here. I got this dog that's it. I feel like it doesn't add to any situation. Because then I just think, like, what do you want? Do you want to go somewhere go outside and you need food? What is it?
I'm looking at all my other friends, and all my other friends seem to have a better relationship with animals. So, like Ross, Butler, Sam, Big Tim, all of these people have very, very loving relationships with their friends that are dogs. You might be the only person I know of that just questions what the dog gives back to you.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, but you're getting that from the dog, so it's a benefit, obviously, right? You're getting some sort of emotional companionship.
But you're saying you don't. It's not even on your radar.
I don't feel.
Well, you're not getting the giving is the getting, Tom. Like, I go and pet my dog. I don't know if my dog likes it when I pet it or not, but like, I pet her and it seems like she likes it, and it's the giving is the getting.
Right.
Is it worth it? It seems like I've done a lot of work here.
If you saw me come home and how I dote on Caesar and Maggie, and I hold them, and I'm like rubbing them, and I'm loving on them, and then I lay on the bed, and they're licking my... I love it.
Now,
it's like my favorite time of the day.
Yeah. No, I understand.
And there's also that other side of love too, where like right now my dog is mad at me because I haven't walked her yet. So like there's that she's giving me like sad eyes, and there's that slight little pressure of like, take care of me or I won't be well, you know?
Right. We got to get you a dog.
Is the transaction
great day? Big mega shit.
Like if you're in a transaction with a prostitute, all right. So you're,
all right.
you know,
here we go.
You know, there's a money exchange here for a service, right?
Okay.
And then and you've done the math in your head. You're like, all right, what is a blowjob from this person that it's bad, real bad? But what is it worth to me?
It's definitely it's the equivalent,
not worth 100.
It's the equivalent of the last shelter dog.
Yeah. So
blowjob from the creature person.
So are you saying you want a dog trained in blowjobs?
I'm just saying there's some sort of exchange here, and I'm wondering if all the work and the fact that you have to figure out you can't go out of town, you got to get dogs, all the work, the shitting on the floor, the hair, all the other, the food, all the responsibility that comes with it. Is it worth the dog sitting in the room watching you jack off, not feeling so?
I'll show you why it's worth it. This is the last picture on my phone, and it is a picture of Caesar and Maggie simultaneously pooping at the same time.
That gives you joy?
Yeah, it gives me joy. That's why it's worth it.
If it gives you joy, then it gives you joy.
That's why it's worth it. Maisie screamed. She put her hands up like a touchdown. We've wanted them to poop at the same time because it would make us laugh. Oh, we were howling.
What else you got, Ross?
If you feel this way about your dog, wait until your kids hit teen years and turn on you, man. Oh, it's going to be bad.
No, I know.
It's coming for me. Yeah.
Tommy, he'll still stay with me. Max is he's already looking for apartments.
They'll surprise you. Just when you think you got to figure it out, they'll surprise you. Hey, speaking of teen shit, let's talk about Post Malone.
Okay.
Yes.
You familiar, Dan? You like Post Malone?
I love the Post.
I only know him from my kid in Fortnite. So, he, 25 years old, by the way, is giving away some of his Crocs to frontline workers right now. They're sold out. You can't get them. But Post Malone Crocs are being made available. The Malone's Duet Max Clog 2, they're going to 70 U.S. hospitals, giving out 10,000 pairs.
It sounds like a punchline to a joke. That you smell like Post Malone's Crocs.
Okay, yeah, it does, yeah.
So he's giving a bunch.
Like the other night, I smoked flower for the first time, and I blew bong smoke in my wife's face, and she said it smelled like Bob Marley's football helmet, which I thought was a pretty funny joke.
Do they want Crocs? Because sometimes you end up, you give something to a charity, or you try to do this huge charitable contribution to find out that there was no need for this. It's kind of like
they're like virtually indestructible, right? Like that's why they're good for the first line people, easy to clean.
As far as I know, I think they're like the number one nursing and like chef and shoe as well right now, but I could be wrong about that.
Because it's like, you remember when Tom's went through the whole thing where they're like, oh, if you buy a pair of shoes, we'll give another pair to someone in Africa, and then everybody in Africa is like, we don't need shoes. We need clean water. We need like a vaccination. We need all these things. You're actually ruining our goddamn shoe economy over here.
But then Tom said, I don't care what you want. You're getting shoes.
Because
I really
it benefits me.
I admire their dedication. Like, they didn't let anything stop them.
And this guy has two things. He has too many face tattoos, and he has apparently surplus Crocs.
Okay, I feel like just money maybe would be more beneficial.
He gives away a lot of stuff, though. I mean, last year, before the pandemic, he gave away a Lamborghini for like a charity, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah,
he partnered with a charity. Seemingly, out of all the pop stars that my daughter or your sons could listen to, he doesn't come off like he's a really a bad person. And he does a lot of charity stuff. So
for real, gave away a Lamborghini, or stitches through a gold chain on the interstate?
No, he really did. Yeah, this one I think was for a kids charity too, which actually made it better. But yeah, he actually did give away. But the Stitches thing. Now, what happened to Stitches?
He pops up on Instagram once in a while. Like, I think he went Christian there for a minute, and then he was like, I'm not doing drugs anymore for a minute, and then he dropped a big cocaine song. But yeah, I haven't seen him in a minute.
Okay, maybe he's coming back. I know he got real thick. Wasn't he going to do MMA fighting for a minute?
Oh, dude, yeah, he's jacked.
Yeah,
he's yoked.
he's real big.
Yeah. Also, not the best time for stitches. No live audiences. You know, it's like so. All you have is to go to the recording studio, and
he's not the best.
I mean, more of I put him in the Venn diagram of professional wrestling and hip hop. He's definitely there's something there. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's not. It's
a little juggalo-y.
You're there for the spectacle, not necessarily the artistry.
Brick in your face.
Yeah, you can't do the fake cocaine into the audience in a socially distanced theater.
That's true. Too many noses.
What else we got, Ross?
Did you guys talk at all about Bean Dad?
What is it now?
Bean Dad?
That's you.
Bean Dad.
You did that this morning. Okay. Oh, man, I went in there and
We'll go into Bean Dad fresh then. It was kind of an internet outrage this week. This guy, as far as I can tell, he's famous for being on a podcast with Ken Jennings. He's like a co-podcaster with Ken Jennings.
Okay.
And I think it was on the podcast, he told a story about how his daughter came up to him and had a can of beans and a can opener, and she wanted him to make her beans. And he said for 6 hours he let her figure out how to open the can of beans, and it was like a teaching moment.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of presented it like he was a real badass and was like making her do this and all. And there was a huge backlash. Like, give your little girl some fucking beans, you asshole. All the way up. But so now he's come out and apologized and said it didn't really go like that. They just had breakfast. She just wanted some beans, and they were laughing the whole time. He kind of changed his tune about the beans.
Okay, I wonder. Okay, Ross, follow me with this.
So he was getting slammed for being insensitive. Hey, figure it out.
Yeah.
Correct. Which is kind of how he presented it, as far as I haven't listened, but as far as I can tell.
Because I'm sure he was doing it for comedy purposes, exaggeration.
We do that a lot.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
This makes me think of something. So do you think it's because, obviously Ken Jennings got announced as he's going to be a guest host for a while on Jeopardy?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a big news.
People
are
rotate
excited
through some other people.
So I wonder if that gave a huge pop to his podcast, because obviously you're national news. You your name's out there, people searching you find the guy's podcast, so they get a way bigger audience of people that don't necessarily listen to the podcast. Ross, could you imagine if all of a sudden that someone is listening to the show, a huge amount, 100,000 extra people around the world that had never before, so they don't know us, so they're hearing these horrible things like I'm saying about my kids or my wife or whatever,
terrible.
And they're like, oh my God, and
terrible thing.
So then you start, you're like, how can this be? Because they don't understand the backstory or
I still
our
don't
personalities.
understand. I'm on the show.
That had to have been the reason he's getting backlash, because of the publicity that Ken Jennings have gotten, right? And
it's a good theory, but I don't have a Ken Jennings update in this article. But the first article broke January 4th, and when I read it then, I went to Twitter and checked out Ken Jennings' Twitter, and Ken Jennings was the only person coming out hard in his favor. So I don't know that was necessarily the case.
Also, I don't
have enough time to defend somebody else's kid and beans.
Ken basically came out and said all the stuff this guy's saying in his apology before. It was a comedic performance, basically. Facts were exaggerated. The kid was never in any danger or hungry at any time. Stuff like that.
So in this case, the only reason it blew up, I could be wrong on this, would be that they brought attention to the negativity. Had they just took their lumps from social media land and left it alone, would it have blown up?
Maybe not.
People were attacking him, so they felt like it was.
But let's take you. Let's say you tell some story to me about how Tommy wanted beans, and you gave him a can opener and a can and said, "Figure it out." Oh. And I'm like, "Oh, that's so insensitive. Let's go to break. Here's some Danny Elfman, Ross's news." And then if people were hammering you, you're insensitive or terrible person, give him the beans. You wouldn't see any of that. You wouldn't say a fucking word about it, and life goes on. That's my point.
I think, though, if you get enough pressure, because it never happened to me.
This sounds like a weird thing to get pressure about, though.
Yeah, but
you are canceled because of the bean thing. I'm like, that's laughable.
It doesn't make much of a difference, but it went down on Twitter, not on their podcast. That's my bad for leading that down to the podcast.
Yeah, we have made that point before, Ross, right? About like words that you're typing are a little different than when I can hear your inflection, know what you're saying.
Yes,
I can look you in the eyes. I can see your face, see how you're handling things, the color of your complexion.
Yeah.
Like, are you turning red? Are you embarrassed? Are you happy? Are you,
Also, and so here's kind of how he presented it on Twitter. Okay. So she brought him a tin opener, as he says, and a can of beans. And he asked her how she thought a tin opener worked. When she said she didn't know, he said he realized he had a teaching moment, dropped into his lap. Apocalypse Dad was overjoyed, explaining he wanted his daughter to learn how to open a tin of beans. He said she tried for 6 hours. Quote, she was next to me grunting and groaning, trying to get the thing. I should say spatial orientation, process visualization, and order of operation are not things she intuits. I knew this would be a challenge, end quote. Eventually, she opened the tin and ate the beans, he said.
Stupid.
This guy's like a nerd bully.
Also, that's 6. No, anybody has kids knows that she didn't sit there for 6 fucking hours. That's an exaggeration.
That's a lie.
That's 15 minutes at the most.
Here's
By the way, my sons wouldn't spend 2 minutes. They'd be like, "Fuck these beans."
Maisie hasn't done anything for 6 hours. She hadn't slept for 6 hours. She's barely been alive for 6 hours.
What kid wants beans? By the way, who have you ever hey, I want these bushes.
Unfortunately
beans.
for you, that's my daughter's favorite food.
Really?
Every meal is beans.
She wants beans.
Every meal is beans.
I think they're British too, and they were Heinz baked beans.
Oh, those are the good ones. Yeah, every meal for Maisie's beans. That's what she asked for. We don't let her have beans every meal because it's too good for her heart.
I wonder if that where it's going to take us some time to realize that the social media is also like a character on your favorite show or whatever. It's like they're playing an exaggerated version of themselves. So then,
only you can decide that, right? It's up to you to take it the way you take it.
Yeah. I guess you're right. No, that's the problem. That's why it's so.
You're gonna have to teach yourself because
if he said this on the stage at a stand-up,
it would never be an issue.
People would. Take it as it is intended. If he just said the
fact that she had just had breakfast and like wanted a little snicky snack, that would be a mitigating factor,
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
Also, when you have a teaching moment, and listen, I don't know what I'm doing as a dad,
teaching moment.
You're supposed to teach them, right? I thought that was the point.
I skip all the teaching moments. I go to the fun moments. The teaching moments are horrible.
What do you even get out of those fucking kids, really?
Yeah. I feel like it's
by the way,
all going to be the same.
Is anybody else going to point out the fact that 6 hours with a kid playing with a can opener and a can of beans sounds fucking amazing? That's 6 hours of video games. That's 6 hours of anything I want to do. Yeah, 6 hours of yard work, 6 hours of podcast.
What else we got, Ross?
All right, you guys made it through the whole roster today. The only story I got left for you, Westfield, Massachusetts, 40 years ago, some guy stumbled out of a bar. Him and a bunch of his friends went down to the local quadrant, and the statue of a Revolutionary War general. Oh, I don't have his name right here. Anyway, this guy, he's posed with a sword, and this guy's kind of a big dude. So he went up to the statue and stole the fucking sword from the statue, just wrenched it right off the statue.
Whoa.
And then basically regretted it for 40 years, just returned it to the town.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Bold move, actually having a removable sword on your statue.
It wasn't. It was part of the statue, and this guy was he was drunk. Him and a bunch of friends went up. He just climbed up the statue and just wrenched it loose.
Yeah.
Oh, so like you wiggled it, broke it off.
Well, probably riveted it in, and the guy just wiggled it back and forth and ripped it off. If it's like a copper or, so I don't know what it's made out of.
And then
pewter.
40 years he had this, and he...
It's a family heirloom.
Yeah. By the way, breaking news, 40 years ago was 1980.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, that's a brand new sword.
Okay. It bothers me anytime that
dogs and swords. He hates them.
Over an insane amount of time that when a person finally
like when they've turned their library book in they had for 63 years.
I hate those swords. I hate all those swords. That returning something.
What about if I held onto the ring, it's an engagement ring, and I found it and I turned it in and we found the lady? And
like if you stole something 40 years ago, or if you committed a crime or escaped from jail. Now, if they find you, that's different. I'm talking about like turning yourself in after 50 years. I hate all that because I'm like, and we've all moved on. The whole world, no one gives a shit about the sword. Yeah. It's most likely either they've been replaced.
Swords are antiquated weapons.
It's why'd you do it? Like, did it really bother you? If it did, you tortured yourself for 40 years. Why'd you wait so long? Like, this is you. If it bothered you that much, then you're a crazy person for letting it bother you for 40 years enough for you to turn it back.
Obviously,
it's crazy.
Fake news. It didn't bother you for 40 years. It only bothered you for 1 minute after 40 years. If it had bothered you for 40 years, you would have already turned it in.
Yeah, that's what it
is. The guy said he turned it into the Historical Society, right? And he told them he had a great deal of shame and remorse. He's a veteran. He said that the fact that he did this to another soldier troubled him. He wanted the story printed to remind people that something you could do in your youth could haunt you for the rest of your life.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
God.
You waited.
Like he committed murder or something.
It haunted you for every day. You've wasted your life. You could have got this done with 1 day after you stole it and apologize.
You just wipe it down with a T-shirt and you throw it at the police station.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm not going to make it formal. I'm going to drive by in my LeBaron. I'm going to wipe it down with my Big Johnson shirt. I'm going to overhead throw it out of my LeBaron. And then I'm going to drive to ABC Fine Wine and Spirit.
Yeah. You kick your buddy out of the emergency room when he got shot up, and then you leave because you don't want to be associated with the activities that got him shot up to begin with. Anyway.
Oh, they would absolutely track you down by those Big Johnson fibers. That's a very T-shirt.
Exactly. This shirt smells like Titusville. They'd know. They would know.
All right, Ross. You got any shows coming up? Where can people find your podcast?
You can listen to the Orlando Talk Show with Ross McCoy anywhere you listen to podcasts. If you tweet about it or post about it, use the hashtag Tots with Ross. We just did one with Owen Butler from the Ono Radio Show and Ono Wrestling. And the most recent one, Danny Maupin. You guys might remember him. He came to town for the Orlando Indie Comedy Fest. I brought him and a couple other comics into the studio, and they were enamored with White Claws. He hosted the Late Late Breakfast. You might remember that show.
I absolutely remember those guys.
With the mustard.
I assumed that everybody was familiar with the craze of the hard seltzer by now, right? Like they're available everywhere.
No, this is when they came in.
This was years ago.
Yeah, they came in here, and then they signed the bathroom. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. That's very cool, man.
And then, of course, right now I'm reading Little House on the Prairie, you guys. They're fucking so good. Dan, do you remember the Little House on the Prairie books, Tom? I know.
I was always a fan of the show. Never read the books, but I was a big fan of the Laura Ingalls Wilder. My favorite character was Nellie because she was a villain who eventually would go and kind of become good. Like she changed her ways, and then her sister goes blind. That's a good one.
Here's just a couple of my favorite Little House on the Prairie moments for you, okay? You remember Laura?
Yes.
At one point, Mary has a real doll. Laura has a corn cob wrapped in a handkerchief.
Yes.
And Laura is such a sweetie. She says, it's not Susan's fault she's a corn cob.
Ross, how high are you getting watching
so good.
Little House on the Prairie?
Book, Tom. I'm reading a book. I'm not watching a fucking
read!
Yeah, he's reading.
Landon. Listen, Pa shoots a bear at one point, and Mary goes, I want the drumstick. And they all laugh at her because he's such a fucking idiot.
She also goes blind late in life and then ends up working at some place that they have some character that's like a modern day Helen Keller. And then I remember she's doing the thing where she's looking off into space and touching everything. And I remember as a kid, I was like, oh my God. I thought she'd really gone blind in the show. And I remember how broken I was.
This is my favorite story of all time. Okay, listen. Pa he's going to the town for a minute. He sees a bear rooting around in a stump. He's like, oh shit, honey tree. So he picks up a fucking branch, whacks the bear in the head until it runs away, as you do, right? And he goes back to the house, gets every bucket and pot and pan he can find, and he goes back to the tree and loads them all up with honey, and he comes back to the house. And Laura goes, Pa, how did you keep the bees from stinging you? And Pa just looked her right in the eyes and goes, bees don't sting me.
Again, how high do you have to be to read Little House on the Prairie?
I don't know. You're gonna have to.
So good.
You're gonna have to try and get there.
Also, I miss the good old days when society would encourage you to hide your physical deformities. It was like, oh, those eyes you got are wild, and put some sunglasses.
Put a cloak on.
You put a bag in your head if you got burned.
Yeah.
Anything, it's just like hide yourself from the rest of us.
You need a big hat.
Yeah, I can't look at it. All right, Ross. Good talking to you.
All right, bye, guys.
All right,
See ya.
man. We'll talk to you soon. That is our buddy Ross, live from, I believe, his home.
Yeah.
Hanging out and chilling and hanging with the family and whatnot, and go see him and support local comedy. You want to take a break?
Yeah.
Come back and do a little dump them out.
If it was real bad, you're like, get up there in the old bell tower. That's we can't look at it.
I mean, we have a little bit of that over there, right? I mean, they're not out front, welcoming people. I mean, to the store.
What do you mean?
Across the street. There's some people that work mainly in the back. I'll say. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, it's not like they have them out front going, "Hey, good morning and welcome. Would you like a bat?" They don't get any of that. Just saying.
What song do we got?
Name of the band, Teenage Risk. The name of the song is Yellow Belly. We've played these guys before. Be back with more on Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. 1-844-TOMNDAN show at tomanddan.com for email. ABC, that's where I get White Claw 7D. Sometimes they have tangerine, but most of the time they have pineapple. It's not my fave.
All right, that's pretty good.
That's honest.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not my favorite. The Clementine White Claw 70 that you can find at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, which is our official partner. That is my favorite White Claw drink right now. But you said something. What is this new White Claw they're rolling out?
Well, Mike's Hard Lemonade Hard Seltzer.
Okay, that's what I'm going to get at ABC. I'm going to have it delivered like Sam does because she's an elevated being.
You got to try the flavors.
Have you done the delivery yet?
Yeah, I have. I
am such an old man.
The delivery works great. And if you go and get the delivery, if you go to your local ABC, it's everywhere in Florida.
Take a picture and use our hashtag too. That means a lot to us. It's hashtag TDABC.
TDABC, and we still are giving away monthly prizes, randomly picking someone to use that hashtag. If you're into cigars, thehumidor.com, which is also a company owned by ABC, you can go on there, use promo code Tom and Dan when you're making your order, save 20% off your order, and get fine cigars. We talk to Chris Gwaltney every month on ACT about all the cigars.
We never talk about cigars. We talk about baseball and sports. You cigar guys, So go to your local ABC. They're great. Get a cigar at thehumidor.com. Use our promo code and use our hashtag TDABC. Ben Harper, brand new song called Black Beauty. It's a single. It was released on Peacock streaming service. There is a documentary called Black Boys that's on there, and it is the title track from that. And we're extremely lucky to be able to play it. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
Tom.
No Samantha, just me and you and Butler holding it down for a big Friday. Normally we do dump them out. I don't think we have a ton to dump.
Okay.
But let's do it anyway. What say you, sir?
Yeah, let's do it.
We got too many topics on the list today. It's the end of the motherfucking show. So come on, baby, let's dump them out. Play. I want to see your topics. Ooh, I want to also see your bottomics.
Dump 'em Out brought to you by Six Flags Mulch right there in Longwood. They do a bunch of different things. If you need any sort of rocks, mulch, all types of mulch, topsoil stuff, they deliver, and they'll deliver for free within a certain mileage range. But, support local. They're a great small business and advertiser of ours. They also do aquascapes. So, just like Seth bought one from them, and big and small, they have everything you could possibly think
You
of.
missed a great chance.
I was about to say, hey, they have them all, but then I was like,
big and small, they have them all.
It's sixflagsmulch.com in Longwood.
That goes to the first thing I have on my list. I want to do indoor plants. I came to the right place.
I know plants.
Yeah, I know you're a plant man. I want to do decorative pot with liner pot inside, and I want to do corners. I want to have something hanging down here, because I know that I'm kind of like, I'm not drinking right now, meditating a lot, trying to get good sleep, resting a lot, trying to do more yoga, and plants they always come up in a wellness blog. They always talk about plants, oxygen, clean, for your psyche, for visual, and so I want to go plants.
Bart's house is like a jungle.
Yeah, what do I get?
There's a bunch of different plants you want.
They're expensive, though, right?
No, not really.
Give me some free plants.
I'll get you some free plants. I'll propagate some for you. I got some. You need some.
I don't want to wait, though. I want them now, and I want them big.
Get you a fiddly fig. No, that's the problem.
No, I want them big. I want
I have to start the propagation now.
I don't want a little sprout.
In 2 years,
no,
I'll get you
I want a thick
ass. 1.5 fiddly fig.
No, I want like a...
No, you can't.
7 to 10 feet.
No, it's $1,300.
Oh, really?
I think a giant...
No, that is highway fucking robbery.
You gotta
$1,300 for that plant should not be compensated for just doing what it's supposed to do. No, same price. It's not doing anything.
Get your shit together, plants.
Here's the problem.
$1,300.
This is why I hate plants.
I thought you loved
plants. It's because every one of my plants has one type of fucking disease or some other shit that I have to stop and then start researching what the hell's wrong with it. And then I'm like, why does it have brown tips? And then it's like, and then here's the problem. And then it says, well, it could be overwatering or underwatering. Like, no shit. Like what? That's all there is. Yeah. And they're like, you have to water it exactly. Well, what is exactly?
Exactly.
And then there's like all these other. They're like, you have to wipe your shears with alcohol wipes, and then do it on the goddamn.
Why do you have to wipe your shears with alcohol wipes? It's a goddamn plant.
That's what I say. And then it's like you're spreading disease if you don't do it. And then I'm like, fuck that shit. God. And then I'm cutting the plants.
You put a mask on your plants too
with rusty, old rusty shears.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you're cutting it with an old rusty Wallace Miller Lite bottle.
All have mites and brown shit, and I'm mad at it.
Hold on, I thought you were the plant man.
Then
I need more pepper plants because I punted mine over the railing when my mom died.
I'm over that shit. I
had a moment after my mom had died. I had you had given me those peppers and they were thriving, but then my mom passed away. I had a moment where I was drunk and I freaked out and I threw the pots off my balcony into the street in a fit of rage.
Well, you didn't tell me that you said that.
I didn't want to. I haven't told anybody that yet. And I destroyed. I was mad.
Why'd you kill my plants?
Because it made me feel better.
Why?
My mom had died.
Crazy.
And I overhead launched them like you're throwing in a soccer ball into the Baldwin streets.
And then
Andrea had to pick them up while I passed out on the tile, throwing up everywhere.
Then it got cold. It was like a cold snap was coming in. I put all the plants inside the dining room.
Oh, like a Harley dealership where they got to move all the bikes inside. I'm like, I drive by Harley dealerships, and it's like 74 degrees, but they're like, and it's going to get low tonight of 31. And I'm like, they're not going to leave them out, are they? They're not going to leave them out.
Well,
and then I see that poor intern, he's rolling them in. One night I think I saw them out.
Just have one of each kind and then keep all the colors and shit in the back.
In the
back.
Like, don't set them all out.
This one can come in. You don't have to put them all out.
Get it.
Fucking too much every day.
I want to drive it in yellow. It's the same as silver, I promise.
Then Crystal's stepping over all the goddamn plants. She's like, get these goddamn plants out of here everywhere. The fucking white flies are
everywhere. I thought she liked plants.
I thought she'd know, but she don't like them because I like them.
And then you go through this whole thing where you start saying white flies matter, then you say all flies matter, and I'm like, you can't say that.
So it's become more of a hassle because I'm like, then I have to take them outside, and then they fucking all disease.
Just stop doing it.
Yeah, I'm like, this shit is like dogs. I want to punt them on the goddamn...
Throw them in the street. It's fun.
Yeah.
What do you got for me? You got anything you can give me?
Now I'll bring you some snake plants. I got some.
What's a snake plant?
They also call it a mother-in-law tongue. Which I feel like borderline racist.
Yeah.
I'm like, so what's racist about this?
That's not racist.
No, but old
It
school
could
names.
be porno, though.
Yeah, and
Saw that one.
some split leaf philodendron. That
You know what we need?
Don't fuck around with succulents. That's bullshit.
You know what we need more of in real life?
Yeah.
Moms teach sex.
What are you talking
The
about?
videos.
The pornos?
Yeah, we need more of that in real life.
Where the mom or stepmom?
Yeah, where the mom's like, "You're doing it wrong. I'll show you how to suck off your boyfriend."
One of my best friend's mom was the family life teacher. That was weird.
Well, like the
taught
sex ed.
sex ed.
Oh, she pulled her titties out? That would be weird. I had a drummer buddy of mine, Mike F. I won't say his last name, and his mom was hot blonde with mega fake titties, and she would always wear. She did that move in the 90s where it was jeans on the bottom but bikini top on the top.
Yeah.
It was an aggressive move for a mom,
aggressive.
but we'd come over there to practice, and that was like her lounge wear, and I remember being like, wow. That was the first time I'd seen real fake titties. But you know what I mean? Like, I'd seen fake titties in pictures. I'd never been around fake titties.
Yeah.
And my mom didn't have fake titties unless my mom bought, 2 bagged goldfishes and glued them to her chest.
I always find it off-putting.
That's a horrible thing to say.
When the mom finds her son,
Jacking it?
who's
You're going to
almost
deal with that. I don't have to deal with it.
Almost, there's a couple skinny nerds that play the son that are kind of believable. Like there's 2 that are like
That
super
one guy, that
skinny
nerd
nerd
that
guy.
used to date Faye Reagan, he was a believable nerd.
Yeah. Where it's like you look young, like he's probably like 2 years off from the mom, but
what's
like he
off-putting
looks 16.
is that young
Got a
Spanish
bird chest.
boy with the mega dick.
Yeah.
He's like 25, but he looks like he's 12, and his dick is bigger than I am tall.
But there's always the you got a boner you can't get rid of. I'm going to help you.
Yeah,
and then
that's
I feel
not
like
real.
I feel like that wouldn't be the first move.
No,
I don't know. I feel like
the first one would be my dad beating my ass.
It's unbelievable. Get your shit together, porno. Anyway, what else you got?
Let's just jump into some voicemails.
no.
I don't have a ton for dump them out, but I do have a ton of voicemails people are leaving.
I got something, and it may reinvigorate my ambition to get Travis back for the dick cards in my wallet, because I kind of fell off. I got busy at the end of the year.
You were paying attention to the post this morning, weren't you?
I started working on Travis's revenge, and I got some people involved, but then it fell off because I was like, God damn, I'm too busy for this shit. I got fucking real work. I've been playing these baby games.
You know those fucking dildos are from you.
And but I've been getting these notifications in my Google Calendar for like
what was that?
I've been getting these messages in my Google Calendar.
and they pop up in the middle of the day, at night, or whatever. And I'm usually like, what the fuck? But I'm busy, so I just like, God. And then I just X them out. But I know it's something, and I'm like, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this one day.
Well, you don't know what it is.
Well, it's this. I'll give it to Daniel. It's a bunch of these show up random parts of the day, including like 6 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
And you could read what it is.
Well, it says horny and lonely with like a smirk face. And it says 6.5 miles from location.
What?
Adultdates.com, confirmed date. That was your tell right there, though.
What? Who's doing this to you, bro?
No, I swear to God, I'm
That's
not.
bad acting, Butler.
Yeah. Because
What?
I feel
What's happening, bro?
like Butler put something in my Google
absolutely
Calendar. And he's fucking clowning me again.
Absolutely,
And now
he's got
I'm
a bad
dropping
poker
everything.
face.
We
need
the
to get
business
him Poker Bros stat.
Yeah.
Because this guy had hemorrhage money.
And those of you who are listening to me, that I started, we're back at it. We're getting Travis back.
You know, we had a question earlier this week of people asking what's going on with the prank war.
But this is reignited it, because this you put this fucking shit in my phone, didn't you?
No,
you didn't.
But look how fake that is.
Yeah, I know. Now this could be really embarrassing. I would be looking at some porno site that like.
I'm 90% sure that's the fucking case here.
It would be really sad though if your wife was using that our joint calendar to make her cheating appointments would be bad.
Yeah, because what is this?
It's a cheating appointment is what it appears to be. It's like listed like a time for you to go and either jack off or cheat on your wife, and it has like a time and then an adult site that you're supposed to go to.
Because it says
go to it.
Under calendar, it's under the orange category, which I didn't even know there's a red, there's a purple, and a brown.
Brown. Yeah, brown.
And then the subject says available sex hookups in Winter Park. And then it has, and then the notes is, I haven't gotten laid in months. I found the site, and hopefully it fixes that. Message me if you're horny too. I get these 5 times. I get these all day long, and I get pissed.
Are they in my calendar too?
They're stuck, and I get new ones all the time. So it's like a virus or some shit. Has anybody had this? You would notice it, right? And I don't know how to stop it, and I don't know how. And I every time it comes out,
that's not on the Google Calendar, is it?
No, this is on the Google Calendar.
I don't have the orange or the brown sections. You tapped into some dark web shit.
Section.
No, and this next one, look, I'm looking at this next one.
It's not on mine.
At 4 p.m., it says got MILF. And it says 2.2 miles away. And I click on it, and it says, I'm just here to satisfy you, laugh out loud. Why is that funny, by the way? why you incorrectly used laugh out loud. And then it says, I hope you want to fuck tonight. I know I do. Message me and let's plan this.
Okay, this is what I have.
And then a sad face.
This is what I have for today.
This person doesn't know how to use them.
This is all I have. Because I have the master account, and I have Bart Out of Town. I have Pay KC, who's our editor. These are all like reminders.
Well, I
American Air and Heat. I have preventative maintenance scheduled this morning that Andrea's meeting with American Air and Heat this morning, right? Mm-hmm. So I had that scheduled.
Yeah.
Then we have Friday Free Show. Then you have Pick Up Kids. Then we have Tom and Dan and iHeart and something else. We have like a meeting later.
See, that's what made me
think. And then we have Maisie Dance at 4. And that's really all I have. I don't have Let's Get Fucked Tonight, Got MILF. I don't have any of the... Well,
that's why
Suck My Dick, Bro.
I suspected it was Travis pranking me. Look, I got one at 10 a.m. It says... thumbs up emoji, jumping back.
Thumbs up emoji, jumping back.
They got you when you enabled those fucking cookies.
Yeah, what did you do? Oh, this is bad.
And then this one says, I just had a long day. I want to jump in bed. Do you want to jump in bed with me? Message me if you're interested. I live near you.
I do. I'm 7 miles down the road. And I'm little. I won't frozen hoof your cock.
It's all orange threat level with available sex hookups in Winter Park. So I clicked. Did I click on something? Did I prank myself?
I don't know.
It's all over my goddamn.
I'm still waiting for your answer. If I get a maybe, I'll start driving.
Yeah. Because but it's only on Monday through Friday. I don't know. But I don't know how to stop it.
Take the weekends
Weekends for family.
Yeah. All right. So this wasn't you.
It's not.
Okay.
All right. Oh well, you need to change your sites. You been on any new sites?
No, it's all the same shit.
Have you guys noticed? Have you seen the new thing? Since we're on this topic, I'll just bring it up. Have you noticed the new thing to pull people in is the girl who pretends that she's new to OnlyFans?
No, I haven't seen that one.
It's the new thing.
You pay attention. Most of the time, I can't put the audio on. There's lots of restrictions.
Well, you got to do it when no one's there.
Yeah. I can't.
You got to be alone.
Yeah, I'm never alone.
Right. So, but like,
I mirror mine on the big 70-inch.
Oh my God, that's too much.
I've never looked at porno that big before in my entire life.
No, I don't want to see that. It's too big.
Game changer.
I don't want to see a 3-foot pussy. I don't want to see it like that. But like the guy, in this particular video, the girl, there's a guy like filming, and she's like, with COVID and everything, it's just, it's been tough. And this is my first time on OnlyFans, and she's pretending like it's like her first time. So it like the allure is that you're getting to see like that girl next door or guy next door.
Fresh content.
Yeah, you're getting to see that person. They're having to do something that they normally wouldn't do, but times are tough and we're all in this together. And it's a very attractive girl. And I have seen that guys are doing it too. Very attractive guy. And then they do like an OnlyFans, and you can join it. So I almost feel like COVID has taken some people that would have never considered that. kind of flipped them on their ear a little bit. You're getting people that are actually doing it.
That's where the porn industry is now gone.
Some of them are fake, but some of them seem real.
It's like talk radio, whatever. You're producing your own content, distributing your own content.
They're doing what podcasting did
making your own
10
money
years ago, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what adult content's doing.
By the way,
taking the power back.
It should be last time calendar audition because that would be the last. If it was legitimate, it's like, I'm never going to part my cheeks up. No more calendar.
Calendars are done.
Call it last time calendar.
I'll end with this. Let's see if we can call my wife because I'm going to need here. I'll do a voicemail. You guys discuss it,
okay,
and I'll call my wife. How about that? Let's try this one. This is our voicemail of the week because I told this one to you. You'll remember this one, Tom.
I'm gonna defend Seth on the last Friday Free Show. What guy has not had to fart and held his dick to make sure he didn't piss a little bit while he was squeezing out a hard one? Come on, man.
This guy right here. I've never fucking done that.
I've never done that either.
I have never pinched my dick to fart. If you do that, you're a weirdo.
Yeah. This is not a sit-stand scenario.
No, we're all in this together. We are unified, Tom and I.
Yeah, who? This is not a, come on, every guy jacks off. Like, there's certain statements you can make that are... Now, there is certain anomalies, and I'm sure there's certain people that don't do certain things, but for the most part, it's the majority of everybody. I contend,
the
just
chat
like
room's
Daniel,
agreeing.
This is not a normal thing.
If you're prairie dogging, I could see how that could happen. If you're about to shit and you're trying to squeeze out a fart, you might kind of spurt yourself and a little piss, but, you know.
No, you're going to shit yourself before you piss yourself.
I've never had
Everybody's saying, not a thing, not a thing, not a thing. This is not a thing. Juan says, I can easily say I've never done that. Everybody's saying...
Dude, me and Daniel have talked to each other for goddamn 20 years.
Every day for the last 20 years, yeah.
And we've brought up everything you could possibly imagine, every deep dark secret that we've done that we wouldn't want people to know about. Like, everything's been brought up that we've done. This has never been brought up. This has not happened.
It is not a thing.
And the fact that Seth and this guy have it in common... It does mean that there are a sprinkling of other people.
We didn't say that people, like, there's no such thing as people doing it.
Yeah.
It's just not a common thread.
Yeah. This is not the majority.
No.
This is a minority of dick pinchers that can you seriously, right?
Great. You're fucking dick pincher.
You're actually, in fact, I've never held my urine by pinching my dick like a hose.
And I know Butler's done it too. You can fill up
a foreskin.
Yeah, you fill up your foreskin, you fill up a balloon. I'll do it if you want to see
it. It's a horrible mess, though. You got to do it in the shower.
No, I can do it and hold it, and then you just got to let loose fast, and it'll come out like, I don't know, like a way an elephant shirts water out of its trunk.
I'm not talking about
the fucking dam on me. It's like
some party trick. I'm talking about literally you had to pee so bad that you're like you pinched your pee-pee to stop your urine. I've never done that. It's like it would be the equivalent of putting your finger in your butt to stop yourself from pooping, right? It's like you're not.
That's called the Dutch boy.
Little Jimmy Horner.
Little Jimmy Horner. You mean Jack Horner?
I don't know.
That was a pie, not a dam.
You're not putting your thumb up your
Tom
butt.
Van, number one with nursery rhymes.
Be like, this will stop my poo-poo. No one does that. You're insane, sir. Should be ashamed of yourself.
Speaking of oversharing. Oh my God. Sorry. Speaking of oversharing, that's my fault. Hey, babe.
Hi.
We'll end with this because to the end of the show, and I like to end with serious topics and things that might help people. If you're ever going to the bathroom, if you're ever going to take a seated number one because your legs hurt from taking indoor ski lessons, and then you look down in your underwear and you see copious amounts of mystery blood, bright red, in your underpants, the correct move is to run out of the bathroom screaming, almost in tears, lay on the bed, and then have your wife part your asshole and look into it to see if you're bleeding from your butt because you're scared you're dying.
Yeah, that happened.
Poor Andrea. I feel like
that's the name of the show. Is poor Andrea.
Oh my God! I mean,
was that last? That was last night,
for
right?
you to maintain the organization and the good at life skills that you have. My God, I've never seen someone.
She's a wonderful woman, like the best in the world,
and have to deal with this other distraction that you have.
No, but she wants
which
to
is
do
a husband with a bloody ass.
I didn't force. No, but that's the thing. Andrea, what did you find?
Nothing.
Mystery blood.
What's worse?
I got mystery blood.
He starts smelling his underwear.
Oh,
like,
stop.
where did this come from?
I touch it and touch my tongue. And like, what is this? Is it blood? Is it really blood? Is it a Jolly Rancher?
Is this like
Did Maisie stick a strawberry candy in my pants?
Is this like the hey, someone shit my pants? Of course, it's your blood. It came from somewhere.
That's what I thought too. But she looked on the cheeks. She took her hands and
no.
Andrea?
Yeah, I parted his cheeks because I wanted to make sure there was no like fresh blood.
And it was hard. God. It was hard to do it because I was tight. I had a tight butt. She's like, relax. You need to relax. So I relaxed, and she goes.
It looks like a roadkill raccoon tail blood.
No, what did it look like? What did you see?
Hair.
It was a clean
Thank you.
bowl.
Thank you.
But the only thing I was like, man, I'm trying to. First, when he was like, Andrea, I need you to come here, Andrea. I was like, what? I'm trying to fold these clothes, and he's like, no, come here. And then he's like, I have blood in my underwear. I need you to check my butthole. And I was like, what? What? It's the first time I've ever looked at like that.
No, you've looked at my butthole before. You took a picture of it like 5 years ago.
Well, I feel like I was like really intimate right there with your butthole.
Oh, yeah, this is the closest you've ever been. Like, this is like almost like swimming with dolphins at SeaWorld. Like, this is like the encounter.
Yeah,
poor Andrea.
Why? It's not. Look, I was worried, and who am I going to get to check that?
Have you had any more blood since then?
I haven't looked. I'm too afraid. It could be all blood now.
yeah. Listen, it's fine. There's sometimes blood comes out.
No, sometimes blood does not come out.
It's a circle of life.
And it was not dried. It looked
blood,
super
dude,
fresh.
Something like
it looked super fresh, and it was a lot.
Wait, is that going to be TC's biography? Sometimes blood comes out.
Yeah. I think T-Tone Ramon in our Twitch chat room, I think he nailed it. I think I scratched my balls with my nails, accidentally scratching my balls.
Oh, God.
I got a paper cut. That area down there is very vascular. It started bleeding. It bled a lot in my underwear.
Gross.
I pulled my underwear down, looked at it, freaked out, had my wife look at my butthole.
No, don't. Here's the thing.
That's a Tuesday for me, guys.
What would she see? Like she's on a doctor.
Well, if she saw a cut and said, you're bleeding from here, I wanted to know whether or not it was my hole or if it was a cut.
Bloody sack.
Right. Because if it's the hole, then I'm like, oh, my God.
TC, have you ever asked Crystal to check like a spot for you? Like
no, I keep all my medical problems to myself.
As soon as he gets home, he puts on a cloak.
So yeah, sometimes I look down and I'm like, oh my God, it looks like someone blew someone's head off of there. And then I'm like, don't tell anybody about that. You keep that shit to yourself. Nobody wants to know. And I can forget it. I'll forget it. I want to be like, something bad happened weeks ago.
And here's the only other thing I had on Dump 'Em Out. Last night, Andrea and I went to Pho 88. We like pho Vietnamese noodle soup.
Good stuff.
Obviously, we brought our kid because we can't leave her at home yet alone. We wished we could because we asked for 3 waters. They bring the water to the table. Maisie took a sip of her water and then screams at the top of her lungs, "This tastes like sink water!"
She was so mad. She just kept on about, this is sink water. It tastes so bad. Like, loud.
Yeah. Thank you, Guardian.
So loud.
Appreciate it.
Or she's telling them.
Yeah, she's getting them good. Yeah, she's like, Andrea, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Did she not request limes or something to put in there? She's like, can I put
it taste better?
She's like, can I put something in this? Do we have any lemons? A real bitch.
So from old bloody butthole to miss tap water over here. My Thursday night was awesome.
Yeah, this poor woman. Between me and Maisie, me and Maisie are exactly alike, and we go hard, man.
Speaking of
hard.
Old bloody butt over here,
I'm Dan.
I want you to videotape Daniel's ski lessons because now you may be asking yourself, some people aren't aware,
this is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful chair.
How do you take ski lessons in Florida? And the answer is there's this gigantic mechanism.
Yeah, it's a dirty carpet.
It's basically a revolving carpet, and then emulates snow, and you get onto it. And this thing's huge. It's like, what would you say? It's probably 20 foot wide?
They have 15? 2 of them. I think it's bigger than 20.
15, 20 foot wide?
It's wider than 20 feet, I believe.
Yeah, 20 foot tall.
50 feet.
Yeah.
And then it could go.
It's
you know,
probably
3
50
stories
feet wide
tall
and maybe
if you wanted.
100 feet deep, but then you can change the elevation of it.
So
It's cool. It's really neat.
Just like the standstill wave when the old, dad gets on, the America's Funniest Home Videos dad gets on, and he's way too morbidly obese to be trying this. And then the gentleman on the cruise ship is holding his hands, and he is trying to now surf this standstill wave instead of going for the easier boogie board. And he's wobble crazy. And then as soon as the gentleman lets go of his hands, he falls down. It blows his shorts back. And then he's too fat to be pushed over the hump.
Yeah.
So they have to hit the emergency stop button. And then everybody waiting in line
I'm not
sees
that
you.
bad because I'm low.
So did they have to turn off the carpet?
Okay.
Yeah, I did okay.
He did? He didn't fall down and get
I never
rocketed?
fell. No, I never.
Oh, damn it.
He never fell. No.
Damn it.
And I'd have to get Maisie because Daniel and I are going at the same time. I'd have to get her to record
I was a
it.
big fat sweaty mess though, and the guy whose dad was
he
a
was
Twitch
so
listener, and he, like the guy that taught me, the instructor, he's like, "Hey, you're Dan from Tom and Dan, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Do you listen?" He's like, No. I game on Twitch, but I've seen you guys on there." He's like, "I'm not really into the talk thing." I go, "Yeah, I get it." But he's like, "My dad loves you, and he watches on Twitch. He never knew what Twitch was." So this guy is he's the guy that only watches on Twitch, doesn't listen to real radio, doesn't download the podcast. He's Twitch only, and he's in his late 50s, early 60s, right, eh?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So the reason why you guys are taking ski lessons because we're going skiing in March, and it's the first time. They should.
I don't want to waste my time, so I'm trying to get a leg up. And it is very hard, though, man.
They should teach you how to get off the ski lift because I feel like that's the most nerve-wracking time.
Especially after all the videos I've watched of people getting killed on ski lifts.
You're getting whipped. But if that's happening, then it doesn't matter. But I was like getting off.
That's what they said that they will. We'll take our lessons out there as well, and they'll show us how to do that. But at least we will know the basics, so then we can come down the mountain and stuff. So, yeah, that's why we're doing it. And I already scheduled us a second lesson too, so we're going to go again.
Yeah, Andrea, though, is naturally good at it because she's pretty much naturally good at everything.
When I was learning how to snowboard, I remember every time getting on the ski lift and thinking to myself, like, I have to get off, and I don't want to be the person that falls and then makes the cool snowboarder that works there hit the emergency stop button, and then everybody stops, and then the lifts behind you swing.
And we got a handicapped person stopping the ride.
A group of 13-year-old cool snowboard dudes start applauding, and then you're fat dad trying to get up with your skis. It's oh man, I can't wait.
Walking in ski boots though is
no way to look cool doing that.
Yeah, no, you don't look cool doing it.
But the place that we went in Winter Park, they've added since we were there last year, TC. They have like a 3 huge movie screen virtual thing that you can get on now and like pretend like you're going down the mountain.
It's pretty neat, yeah.
Yeah,
they've got one of those
crazy.
simulators.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the place was packed. I know a lot of people, even in our chat room, were saying, like, I can't believe that place is open. The place was packed. I mean, people are trying to get the hell out of town.
Does it make it better? Like, I've wondered this with other things, too, because they do this with, like, Peloton, and they do this with, like, rowing machines, and then other things where, you have the rowing machine, but then they'll put like some sort of video as if you does it make it better? Like when you see you're there learning how to ski and then you see the movie of the mountain.
Exercise bikes to me suck, but I love my Peloton. So for me, yes, it does matter.
Well, no, hold on.
Like a bike with no screen on it and I'm just riding the bike, I would not want to do that.
But are you looking at a fake path and pretending that you go through the path?
Sometimes, yeah.
Does it make it psychologically more fulfilling?
More fulfilling. It doesn't.
Less boredom.
Yeah, it's less boredom. I would say. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and when somebody's talking to you, like the instructor, the trick there isn't necessarily that they're telling you something you don't know. The trick to me is that I'm just getting sounds that go into my brain that actually make me forget that I have to do this for a certain period of time.
Also, they're showing the video of like a professional skier skiing down the Alps of Switzerland while your ankles are shaking. You're like, well, I'm not.
At the end, I was walking. I'm like,
I'm not rocketing down the Swiss Alps like the video, so it's not. I'm not pretending like, oh, that's me going 50 miles an hour straight line down the Alps. I'm shaking barely with the pizza stands, going
pizza, no French fries.
Going 1 mile an hour. Anyway, all right, Andrea, thanks for talking to us.
I love you, babe.
Love you too. Have a good weekend.
Hey,
everybody.
me and my butthole will see you later.
Oh, great. Yes, I'm waiting for that.
Okay, bye-bye. Did I hang up on her? Oh, my God. I think I did. Oops. That's not good.
All right.
Okay.
That's all right about done.
We're going to go around the room, say what we're thankful for. Happy anniversary to Sam and to her husband, Travis. We love you guys. We hope you're having a great day. Let's plug some stuff we need to plug for the end of the show.
You could be a part of our texting service. Text us. Just opt in by texting the show number, which is 844-TOM and Dan.
TOM, the letter NDAN. You can just text that. We'll answer you, give you pertinent information.
You got to text BDM first. Just text BDM, the letters, and it'll opt you in. And then once you're opt in, you can text us whatever you want, and then we will send you out, any pertinent information, like when our new hats, which we should get
today,
when they go up for sale next week. So you guys will find that out. Plus, you can ask us questions or whatever you want. Travis, I know we got some watering holes that are coming aboard, and
absolutely.
Oh, we got new ones?
Yeah, we have actually
sweet.
so many. There's actually, wherever you're at, there are some watering holes near you. Whether it's you're out on the Space Coast area, we have Bug Nutty Brewing. There's Brew Tap House out in Tavares, the Willow Tree, West End. We have Tuffy's.
We got Sanford peppered, man.
We have so many all over the place. I definitely highly recommend checking them out. Support your local watering hole, and great. Keep them open.
It's a simple thing to do too. I had one listener email me, and he said that he hit up he hit up a bar that was a watering hole that he didn't know was a watering hole. I believe it was the tavern that we had on a while back. That's in Volusia. But he hit it up, saw the sign, didn't realize that they were a watering hole, mentioned it to whoever was by the bar. Next thing you know, you got a free drink.
Awesome.
I'm not saying that happens, but it can.
Ask for a koozie. They have stuff.
It helps us for you guys to let them know you saw the plaque. I know that sounds like we're putting you to work, and I guess in a weird way we kind of are, but it really it
helps the relationship because
really
they need confirmation that you guys heard it or at least recognize Tom and Dan.
It's a tough time for businesses right now.
Yeah. Also, I'm glad I remembered because I almost forgot the cruise. So, now all this information is on.
I'm already packed, buddy.
The BDM cruise page. So basically, we told BDMs at the beginning of the year, like, listen, we don't foresee this happening, and we just have to wait until Royal Caribbean makes the announcement, because if we try to change it, then you only get cruise credit, you can't get your full refund, blah, blah, blah. So they did. They did end up canceling it like we thought, and Tony was right. And so
it's almost like he knows that cruise stuff.
The cruise is canceled, and we thought about rescheduling it again and just moving everybody again another year. The only problem is Tony, obviously a cruise insider, knows the business and everything. He's worried. He's just like, man, I'd rather just everybody get their money back, because who knows what's going to happen a year from now.
Like the number Tony threw out to me was that some of these companies are spending in upwards of are using in upwards of $250 million a month to stay in business.
Yeah. So we don't want any scenario where something happens and then people's cruise credit doesn't work anymore, or they can't get the refund. So we're just basically telling everybody, and you can find out Ahoy Cruises, Tony Palmiotti. Tony,
they're always available. Shoot them an email. Get right back to you if you have a question.
There's a cruise Facebook page, the BDM page. I mean, there's tons of. Just email one of us. We'll tell you all how to do it. But Tony's going to go through and help everybody get a refund. Now, there is the aspect of the fun fee. And what that means is obviously that cruise refund, that's between you and Royal Caribbean. Now, the separate fun fee that everybody paid, that's the money that we use to buy our cabins, get all the, by the way, 600 t-shirts and bag, cruise bags.
Old t-shirts.
That are sitting in Tony's house.
Fucking hypercolor. It's out of style. Nobody wants it anymore.
Filled up Tony's guest room to the brink.
It's got size. It says Gangnam Style in the front of it. Nobody's going to fucking wear it.
From 2020.
Yeah, this shit's from 2012.
And so now we're stuck with it. Anyway, so the fun fee. So now we're trying to figure it out right now. And there will be an option, and that's separate, obviously, and that's $50 a person that Tom and Dan charge, or we charge you guys to, like I said, help pay for all the stuff and the extra cabins and all that stuff.
It's the people upstairs, Butler. They're having a hoedown up there.
So we'll send you a separate email soon once we figure it all out to give you the option. Now we got
to have a fucking party.
We are giving you an option. You can get the full refund and get your $50 fund fee back. Oh,
yeah!
Because I looked at that. I was like, oh, God, the money's spent.
We bought all the shit.
Like a year and a half ago.
It's sitting in Tony's fucking living room. And I think Deb has been using it as a couch for the past
how much? And then I'm like, oh, God!
Let's let it ride, buddy.
So,
yeah!
There is going to be two options. There's going to be full refund because I'm not going to, if you need the money back,
put it on black and spin it.
Or there's going to be a let it ride option, which me and Daniel had a panic sweaty talk about Monday morning. Where
there's more of a screaming match.
The let it ride option, if you click on that, you're gonna let the fun fee ride.
Oh, Norm's just screamed it, let it ride. $50, let it ride.
Till a future date, which we will.
What are we gonna do with that party place? We rented that fucking place.
Who knows when we can even do it?
Oh, dude, let it ride. Let's have a let it ride casino orgy party. Super COVID crazemo.
So
toga party.
We're gonna have an option, and then
I love it. What are we gonna do
with the let it ride option?
So if you opt to let it ride, you're in the let it ride party.
You will receive a free party.
You will receive COVID.
You will receive a COVID time capsule. That's what I'm calling it. A bunch of shit.
That's what you're calling it?
We bought it.
Now, that is a Daniel Dennis level spin, brother. I love that.
We bought it in 2019. It was already purchased. It was printed and made in 2019, a different time. Oh, God.
These shirts have no COVID on them. They were made in China at a time when the Xees didn't even exist.
You'll get a dated package of a COVID time capsule.
You'll get a free
steel drum player.
Steel drum player, spicy harp. I will do a text message notification saying Wuhan flu for you.
We will do a future event.
Everybody's screaming, let it ride. Steph's saying, let it ride. Tony says, let it ride. Rich is saying, let it ride. Norm is 100% let it ride, but Norm's an animal.
I'll be completely honest. I have zero idea what this would possibly be.
So you don't even know what we're riding or how to let it ride.
I have no idea when we're going to do it.
Okay.
Or if there's a possibility that we die before that. That's a called gambling. That's why you let it ride.
All right. So let's say I $50, I opt into this let it ride. You will then let me know when and what happens, but nothing will be said until time.
Now you will always have the opportunity to, if you get nervous, to get your money back.
Okay, so at any point
can email Tony.
And say, hey,
but you're out of the let it ride group.
Oh, ooh.
You're not getting back in.
I say you're a pussy ass.
Unless you want to pay to get back, and then you're back.
Wait a minute, you're fudging the numbers now. What if I didn't let it ride before, but I hear let it ride? I'm like, well, it's $50. I'll let it ride.
A new person let it ride? Okay, well, except a new person let it ride.
And then if you guys decide to go on the cruise, can I buy the cruise then?
I like when I'm being arrested, like, you are taking money for nothing and promising.
Like the guy.
And then I'm like, I'm taking it for this person, paying this person. And they're like, this is what Madoff went to jail for, you idiot. And I'm like, I don't know.
Liar Festival.
So far, what I'm seeing from the chat room, if you want to do a sample survey, they're saying they will let it ride, but they still don't fully understand what that means.
That's
and we don't either. So you get it. You get it.
We have no idea. And we'll send out an email to
wait a minute,
refund or let it ride.
That place, the veranda that we rented, can we do wrestling there?
I don't. Well, the problem is, that lady calls me all the time and is like, "You want to do the event?" I'm like, "Lady, do you know you watch the news?
What are you doing tomorrow?" let's do it tomorrow.
Like, what do you think? And then she's like, well, it goes away in March, apparently. Like, we got 1 year extension from that BDM event. I'm like, March? March is goddamn month. It's like month and a half away. What do you think? I can't do this shit in March. Anyway, so hopefully maybe we do it there or they steal our money. I don't know what's going to happen. Listen, just like everybody, shit got fucked up. We're figuring it out.
Can we steal a Sun Cruise casino boat?
Yes, we can.
Just ride it around a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I got this. Smoke some weed. Like, bring it back. We didn't mess with anything.
I mean, they'll let us ride.
We filled the tank back up.
Oh, I'm sure. Come on. Everybody on. I'm sure they're hurting. It's like, you know what? I feel like a Sun Cruise. What the fuck?
Mask up.
Pull the gun.
Everything.
Pull everything. Dice. Anyway, I don't know.
Oh, let's get out of here.
All right. Yeah, all that information will be sent to you guys. We'll let you know what the hell that means. Get a mask. Look at this one. All right. What the fuck? No way this lasts.
Poor Andrea. We'll see you next week.
Hold it, fellas. Oh, wait a minute. I can't publish that. It's mediocre.
And now it's time for the Tom and Dan end of the show footnotes. Today you heard music from
Total Massacre. LA punk rock, pissed off at the world and what it's become. I don't think that I need to draw you a map. You've got a brand new single here that you can track down on the old Bandcamp. You heard Total Massacre's song, Get Rich or Try Dying. After that, we got a little weird. I heard the song a few days ago, and then it was released for us to debut, which is really cool. This is the uber-talented mega musician Danny Elfman, and I believe his second newly released single entitled Sorry. He says this is like the first time in a very, very long time that he's actually created music for himself. This is a layered and complex listen. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hit me up. Teenage Wrist was up next with some new music off of their Earth is a Black Hole album. The new album has a brand new frontman stepping up. Their guitarist is taking the place of the exiting bass player, and I'm really enjoying it. You heard their song, Yellow Belly. We closed everything out with a new single from the genius that is Ben Harper. The interesting part about this song is that it's mostly all Ben on guitar, bass, drums. He's not doing the backing vocals. Those are some ladies. And he did all the percussion, and then it premiered on the Peacock back in September for the Sonia Lohman documentary Black Boys. And on that note, thanks for listening. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you back here on Monday.
I'm your name.